What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the official 10K per month creator workshop recording. This is the recording for the 10K per month creator workshop that we are running in September of 2025. And that was jam-packed. It's pretty late here. We are just wrapping up our night here, but we got to get this recording up for you guys. So that was a 3-hour workshop full of so many amazing things around the topic of building a $10,000 per month creative business or a six-figure business foundation if you are a photographer, filmmaker, social media manager, designer in the wedding space or in the brand space. That was awesome.
It was so good. We talked about how to not only build, but price and market six-figure offers. Joy and I literally give you a breakdown of our $100,000 month that we had this year in our photo, video, and brand agency, which was super fun. We also brought on 3 guest experts. We had Britta talking about her wedding business that she has, where she's gone from booking $5,000 weddings to $8,000 weddings, and the shifts she had to make in her brand in order to position herself to be able to sell to those types of clientele and still being herself, not trying to be someone else, which is huge. Then we had Daygin talk about how he went from $1,500 brand deals to $10,000 campaigns, and how he literally went from living in a tent to now getting paid crazy amounts of money to shoot tents all around the world, shooting with really cool brands like North Face, Arc'teryx, Zorali, all these amazing things. He talks about the flow of a funnel and what that means for a business and how what you sell is actually really valuable when it comes to a business's ROI, which is amazing. And then last but definitely not least, we had Taylor Caruso teaching about how she started her social media management business and went from like $800 client, like retainer clients, where she just was doing everything for them, and then actually shifting to a model of $3,000 a month for these social media management retainer clients, and how those actually are easier than the $800 clients, and how who you positioned yourself to, who you market to really, really matters. The value of this workshop is literally unmatched. You're going to love it.
Yeah, it was so great, guys. So tune on in. One of the other things that we got to talk about on the workshop that was super exciting is round 14 of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind is starting September 21st. So public launch is September 7th. Applications go live on our website. However, if you're on the workshop tonight, and because you're watching the recording, you guys are getting a bunch of info and an early access opportunity to apply for one of the 30 spots we have for round 14 of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind. So if you're new to Creativ Rise, the 6-week mastermind is simply, there's 6 pillars that if you build all 6 pillars into your business, you will have a 6-figure business foundation and your business will be able to grow like ours has, like Daygin, Britta, Taylor, and so many other people that you're going to hear about on this workshop that have implemented these 6 pillars. And the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind is how we help you. We handhold you through that process through 6 weeks, 1 pillar per week, teaching you how to not only understand the pillar, but implement it into your business so you can actually start growing and really ramp up how quickly your business can grow through the last part of 2025 and especially into 2026. So we're super excited. We are going to be taking 35 creatives total for round 14, 5 spots we pre-released over the weekend to have some fun, and all 5 went within a couple of hours, and then we released the rest of the spots early access tonight on tonight's workshop. There was so much buzz about it in the chat. People are so excited. We got so many applications. So if you are someone who wants to take advantage of this next year, really on the business side of the business and build the business, well, the mastermind might be something you should really highly consider. And this workshop is going to give you a good answer on that. So make sure you listen in when we talk about the mastermind, which is really fun. And other than that, we are so excited for you to listen to this 3-hour workshop. Little spoiler, we did have some like recording problems at one point. We had a couple backups going. So we've kind of like hodgepodge the recording together in a few spots. So like, be patient with us. The value is like so good, but there's going to be a couple of moments where the audio or video is a little bit funky, but we're doing our best. So
that's what
hopefully
happens when you got a 3-hour long workshop.
I know. So hopefully that's how just tech happens, right? It doesn't always go perfectly, but the value is going to be there, guys. So I'm so excited for you guys to dive on in, not only to learn from what we've been doing, but also from Britta, from Daygin, from Taylor, and so many other people. Enjoy the 10K per month creator workshop. Who is ready to learn? Throw it in the chat. Type of me in the chat if you're ready to learn tools and strategies to build $10,000 months in your creative business. Throw me in the chat. Let's go. Let's go. So glad that you guys are here. If this is your first time joining a Creativ Rise workshop, there's probably some people that are new here. Throw me in the chat. I want to see if this is the first time you have ever been on one of our workshops. We do them about twice a year, and they're always a blast. If this is your first time, throw me in the chat. Great to see you guys. We love first-time people. First time being here. I love it. What's up,
That's
Emily,
amazing.
Daniel, Matthew? Love it, guys. Caroline, so cool. I love it. Good to see you. Good to see ya. This is our promise, okay? So in order to really make sure you guys understand what is going to be going on throughout this workshop, and most importantly, we want you to stay the whole time. People are going to get the most out of this, or people are going to stay the whole time. Here's what we're going to be doing in the next 2 hours is delivering as much humanly possible value as we can into your business over the next 2 hours. We're going to be sharing what's helped Christy and I over the last 2 decades when you combine both of our experience.
Yeah.
About 10 years for her, 11 years for me, in building our own creative businesses as photographers and filmmakers, as brand strategists in the wedding space and in the brand space. It's helped us build a couple different six-figure businesses, multi-six-figure businesses, and we actually had our first ever $100,000 month in February of 2025, which is mind-blowing. Like, thinking back to when we first started our businesses, never would have thought that we would have done $100,000 in a month. Like making $10,000 in a month felt like that was going to be a massive milestone. So we're going to be breaking down some of the things that have helped us do that. We're so glad you were here. So here's what we promised to cover today on today's workshop, okay?
We have someone, Amy. This is live, by the way.
Yeah, Amy, this is live. What's up?
Pre-recorded.
That's always
here.
a funny comment. But Amy, I'm glad you asked. Is this live? This is. Amy, where are you from? Tell us in the chat. We'd love to know. But we're going to be covering today the 4 stages of business growth. I'm going to be covering something called the business ladder. If you don't understand the 4 stages of business growth, the business ladder, you are probably going to be living in some chaos. And I want to break that down for you so you can alleviate yourself out of that and grow your business. We're going to be talking about how to build 6-figure offers. We're talking about how to then price those offers, okay? Then Christy's going to be talking about the fully booked marketing system. And then we got 3 guest experts, which we're so stoked about.
So good.
Britta's going to be talking about how she went from $5,000 to $8,000 weddings in under a year. Daygin's going to be sharing the incredible story of how he went from $17,000 in one single year all the way to $26,000 in one single month. It's an amazing story. Cannot wait for him to share that with you. And then Taylor is killing it in the social media management and content creation space right now. And she's going to be talking how she's gone from like $800 per month gigs to $3,000 per month retainers, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And even better, after all that content,
we're going to be doing live Q&A, as I said before. So any question you have about your creative business for your specific situation, drop it in the Q&A button that's down on the Zoom toolbar. You'll be able to submit your question there, and we would love to answer it at the end. We're going to be doing live Q&A. We'll probably stay on for a while, so come and stay. That'll be totally fun.
Yep.
And then we're also doing a giveaway for the Peak Design tripod, which I know a lot of you guys are very excited about.
Comment tripod if you want to win that thing.
If you
I love
the
this
giveaway,
tripod, guys. This is our favorite tripod.
You've got to be here live to win it. So we're going to do it at the very end, and it's going to be awesome. We're going to be giving it literally a $400 brand new tripod away, but you got to be here. So if we announce a name and you're not here, it's going to go to the next person, which would suck. So
100%.
We don't want to do that.
Real quick, this is a great question. Will there be a recording of this, Quaid? Yes, there will be a recording of this. Recordings are never as good as being there in person, so make sure you stay all the way to the end. But yes, we will be sending out a recording. And then, Antonio, you asked, is this mainly for filmmakers and photographers in the wedding space? We're definitely talking about that, but we're also talking about the brand space. We're both in the brand space as well, so you are in the right space, Antonio, which is awesome. So we're glad you're here. So what we're teaching tonight has landed us deals with top brands. This is Christy and I, some of the brands we've gotten to work with and fly all over the world working with awesome industry leaders in different industries, Uber, LaCroix, Ford, Yeti, lots of different brands in both the wedding space and in the outdoor space and the product space, the direct-to-consumer space. And it's also helped us go into some really cool places all over and shoot weddings.
So I've been able to shoot weddings in St. Lucia, Nicaragua, Greece, Paris, Jamaica, like all these really cool places all over the U.S. Absolutely a blast being able to become destination wedding photographer. And if you're thinking, I want to do stuff like this, like I want to get paid to travel around the world to shoot with couples that want me, that's what this workshop's for.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be awesome.
I love it. Well, before we get into the actual value, I thought we'd introduce ourselves a little bit. So there's a lot of you guys that are here for the first time. I'm showing you guys photos on the screen right now of little Joey. Quick little bonus points. If anyone can guess the camera on the left and the camera on the right, you can guess both cameras. That was my first camera on the left, my second camera on the right. If you can guess those cameras, you get some bonus points. Throw it in the chat. But my story started out a lot like probably a lot of you guys, where I got really into certain things and hobbies, and eventually I was like, wow, I should start filming these. And so I got into like the art of filmmaking, and I got into some, some photo stuff. And very quickly, actually, as a young kid, I started my business at 14 because I started getting family friends and some other people in some of the hobbies and industries that I was into saying, hey, could you make a video of me doing this? So I was working with athletes at the time. I was working with small businesses, and I was literally 14 years old. So the photo on the right is me. I think I was probably 15 in that photo. It's right after I got my first Glide Cam HD 2000, which is like a legendary product if you've been around the industry for a while.
Someone's like, glad you upgraded.
Yeah. You know what? I love some of these guesses here. It's not a Rebel. It's not a Lumix on the left. It's actually a Lumix on the right, George. So you got a point right there. It's not camera on the right is actually the camera on the right. On the far right is a GH5, the one in the middle is a GH4, and the one on the left is a Nikon D5100. Happy I moved on from that. But my story, like I said, guys, started very similar to you. I loved the idea of getting paid to do what I love, but I had no idea how to do it. I had no idea how to turn people coming and talking to me about, hey, can you maybe do this for me? And I'm like, I have no idea what to price, all the way to how do I grow this thing? I just was fish out of water, didn't know what I was doing. Now, over 10 years, as I told you, I've been running my business for about 12 years now. There's been a lot of trial and error, and I failed in a lot of things. And I've shot multinational campaign commercials that I didn't get paid on because I messed up on something in the contract. Like, I have made mistakes, about all the mistakes you can make, right? But I went from being a broke 9th grade business owner, that's when I started my business, to running a 6-figure content agency. And so Christy and I together, she's going to talk about herself in a second, but we've got a business called Spears Collective, and it is a content agency, a brand strategy and content agency that helps brands all over the world rebrand, go to market, take new products to market. And we'll cover everything from photo, video, digital strategy, brand strategy, launch strategy, product strategy, web development, design. And so it's been a really cool journey. And I've gotten to go to 20 countries before I was even 20 years old. So a camera really took me all over the world with some of the things that we're going to be teaching you guys tonight.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then I'm Christy, and I started my business because I was broke. A little bit less of a passion story at the beginning. And it was more, I had just graduated college. I was helping my friend start a nonprofit, which is very non-profitable. And I was like, okay, I can't literally pay my $400 student loan. So I need to do something. And so I had 3 jobs at the time. And I was like, what's a good 4th job that I could add on right now? And it was wedding photography. And I was like, I'm gonna start just shooting couples. I honestly don't even know why. I just started it. And it was like a snowball effect of what happened in my business. I basically went, I'm gonna go all in. I quit the other jobs. I said, I'm gonna give myself 6 months to make this a thing. And if I can make it a thing and be full-time, great. If not, I'm gonna go to law school. That was literally my thought process. So I was all over the place.
Anybody else on here was a lawyer and now is a photographer? Anybody?
It feels like
Just
that.
Christy?
Just me. So this is some photos of when I was first getting started. Very confused on how to run a business. Obviously confused on what actually looks good when it comes to shooting on the right-hand side. Type cringe in the chat if you've ever thrown up some type of something in front of your camera lens to make something cool. It didn't really work, but I got started because I was like, you know what? I need to make this business thing work. I need to make some money. And it actually full-blown was basically exploded into a career that I absolutely loved. 6 months later, I was full-time shooting weddings. I then became a destination wedding photographer, traveled all around the world to all those countries that I mentioned before. One of the coolest parts is the upper left-hand corner photo. This is my favorite photo, even though it's got a horrific side part. This is my favorite photo. I was actually working in the nonprofit, and then that was about a year later. I was able to sponsor a well for that nonprofit, drilling clean water wells in Nicaragua. Was able to actually drill that with the funds from my business. So I went from getting barely paid by a nonprofit to be able to give back, which is literally the heart of what we do. And so I've been able to also work with brands, have super long-term partnerships with a lot of really incredible national brands. And it's been absolutely so fun getting to do that, and also has afforded us to be able to buy a dog.
This is our puppy. He was just chewing our carpet, so I'm gonna put him down over
just
here.
A little bogey moment for a little commercial break. But that's basically us. Both love what we get to do, but fully believe in the business side of running the business is why something grows.
Guys, I'm loving these comments. Actually, Caroline said, I'm a lawyer switching to photography. So shout out to you. I love this comment. I feel that I'm in the spot now where if this does not work, I'm on to the next. Well, Taylor, super glad you were here because this is going to help you.
Absolutely. And so
let's go.
I saw a question in the chat. Is this good for families, shooting seniors, different things like that? This is any service-based creative business. So if you're in the social media space, if you're selling senior portraits, if you're shooting weddings, brands, whatever it is, this is for you because we're talking about business strategy today.
For creative businesses, guys. Well, and the same things that we were talking about have helped clients of ours make $112 million over the last 6 years. So if you're hanging around creatives who are like, it's the struggle club, you can't make money if you're self-employed as a photographer, filmmaker, social media manager, designer, that is just not true. And over the next hour and a bit, we're going to convince you of that and encourage you into that. And hopefully you leave tonight's workshop just feeling like that is more true than ever, which is going to be great. So we got a 6-week mastermind around Creativ Rise here. If you're new here, we have a weekly business podcast. We have a couple hundred episodes that go out every single week. We have a new weekly business podcast that goes out. You can find it anywhere. Creativ Rise Podcast. Go search it up. Courses, tools, in-person events, and community platforms. So we are all out on helping creatives get paid to do what they love. And this is the method in which we do that. So who is ready to get started? Who is stoked to jump on in? Type me in the chat if you're excited to get on in to how you can make $10,000 a month as a creative.
You guys are my people.
Let's go. Christy loves a good chat. She loves a good chat.
If you're active in the chat, you're my best friend. So
yeah.
I love that you guys are pumped.
Let's go. All right, here's the deal, guys. So the first thing I told you that we were going to promise giving you tonight was going to be talking about the business growth ladder. Okay, so this is the 4 stages of business growth. If you guys can understand what I'm about to break down, it's going to really alleviate some of the chaos and some of the potential stress that you might be living in as you grow your business.
This is huge.
And this isn't a one-time thing. You will continue to live in this. So I'm glad that we're going to be talking about it tonight. Let me break it down. The bottom of the business ladder is called the idea stage. Then you have the build stage, then you have the growth stage, and then you have the chaos stage. Now, let me break down what is actually in these stages, okay? So every single business, whether you have been here for 10 years, whether you've been doing this for 6 months, whether you just started your business last week, every single business that is on this call right now, on this workshop, starts in the same spot. The idea stage. Now, the idea stage is where you clarify your clientele, you clarify your offers, you clarify your pricing, you clarify your positioning. It's really the dreaming stage. It's like, what do I want to do? Who do I want to work for? What do I want to shoot? What am I going to price my stuff at? And for a lot of people, this stage is pretty fun. Now, this can be stressful if people are like, I don't know what to price, but the idea stages can be pretty fun. After the idea stage, you then go into the build stage. Now, the build stage is simply building out everything that you just decided to do in the idea stage. So you're creating systems for marketing, lead generation, you're trying to get some sales, you're building fulfillment systems so you can deliver faster, right? You're building stuff to help you with referrals, like creating all the systems that actually are going to make your business run. That is the build stage. And then you go into the growth stage. Now, this is the stage that we all think is going to last forever.
Yeah.
You start earning money. Okay, your business has started to earn money and your earning potential increases very quickly due to your idea and the clarity you have around your systems, right? So this is the stage. Throw growth in the chat right now if you feel like you're in the growth stage. Things feel to be going well, you're making money.
Yeah, and own that.
Own it, that's a great thing.
Things are going actually pretty well right now. That's awesome, and we want to celebrate that.
Throw it in the chat.
We actually like to celebrate good things happening for creatives around here, if you can't tell.
Cool. I see some people in the growth stage.
Some people are like, nope, chaos.
So here's the deal. We all think the growth stage is going to last forever. But what happens is some point, we all start to slip into the stage, the 4th stage called the chaos stage. We don't recognize it. And one day we wake up and we go, oh my gosh.
The wheels have fallen off.
This feels a little bit hectic and this feels chaotic. Now, the problem with this is that most creatives think that the chaos stage doesn't exist. And the chaos stage is defined as this. This is how we define it. It's turbulence that is hitting you because your current systems that you built in the build stage cannot scale you any further. They got you through the first little loop of the growth stage, but now you're stuck because the systems you're operating off, whether it's like quite tangible systems like how you sell, how you shoot, how you market, how you post on Instagram. It could also be systems like how you think about things, the mindset that you attach things to, the beliefs you have when it goes to putting yourself out there as a business owner, right? Those are all things that in the chaos stage, if we don't continue to go back and reset those, we'll get stuck in chaos for the rest of our lives. And this is why a lot of businesses, most freelance or self-employed creatives, I'm wearing a self-employed creator shirt right now, most self-employed creatives do not make it past 4 to 6 years. And it's because they go through idea, build, growth, and then they hit chaos and they don't realize they're in chaos and they end up giving up because they feel stuck. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to show you get around it right now. This is the antidote to getting through the chaos stage. When you get to the chaos stage, how you get through chaos is you revert back to the idea stage and go, I need to re-clarify what my next season of growth is going to look like. I then need to build out those new systems, and then I'm going to get to experience the growth. And then guess what? You end up back in chaos again. So here's the deal. Your growth as a business owner, going from $10,000 a year to $40,000 a year, $40,000 to 120, 120 to your first 250 a year, right? That is all contingent on how quickly you can go from idea to chaos and then back to idea and then go from idea to chaos again. And you keep running this growth ladder, guys, okay? So this is not something to climb up on and then eventually jump off it. It's actually a ladder. It's a looping ladder that you will be climbing for the rest of your business life. Yeah. And the problem that most people don't understand is that this is a cycle you'll never outrun. And unless you submit to it, you're going to end up burning out. You're going to end up getting stuck at like $15,000 a year, not understanding why you can't grow. Is this making sense? Throw a me in the chat if this is making sense.
Yeah.
Is this helping anybody? Jasmine, I love that you're saying this is great wisdom. I love it. Matthews, me. Love it. Gigi. Okay, cool. So we're going to be helping you. The reason why I want to bring up the business ladder, the business growth ladder, is because we're going to be helping you tonight build out a few things and share with you a few tools that are in the idea and in the build stage of the business ladder, okay? So you guys are here tonight for us to help you clarify some things in the idea stage and then give you some good ideas for the build stage so that you guys can grow your business this year. Throw grow in the chat if you're like, I'm here for that. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so this is the first thing that we're gonna be talking about that you actually need to build. This is actually part of the idea stage, but it's got the word build in it because we need to build it. In order for you to build a solid business, a six-figure business, or a business that's doing $10,000 per month, and quick math alert for you. If you're doing $10,000 a month, you have a six-figure business or you have a six-figure run rate business. And over 12 months of doing $10,000 a month, you will end up having a six-figure business. So the biggest part of six-figure business owners is they have really, really good offers, okay? So $10,000 per month creative businesses do not sell everything to everyone. If you're taking notes tonight, I want you to write this down. Getting to $10,000 per month is not going to be done by selling everything to everyone. And why can I tell you that? Well, I can tell you that because I used to sell everything to everyone. Christine knows this list. A lot of people that are on this call, they're friends. We've been through a lot of Creativ Rise stuff. You guys know this list. There is an extensive list of things that I've done. I've done shot a bunch of random stuff. Yep. And I can tell you what has helped me grow and what has helped me not grow. $10,000 per month creative businesses focus on scalable six-figure offers, and that is by simplifying down, okay? So in order to grow your business, often you actually need to simplify it down. Now, how do you do that? Well, let's talk about what a scalable offer is. A scalable offer is, if you're taking notes tonight and we're going to be ripping through a bunch of this stuff fast, take out your phone, take screenshots of this, take photos of this, okay? So a scalable offer is a clear solution that you provide to a specific problem, okay? It's a clear thing that solves a problem packaged in a way that actually makes people excited to pay you for it, right? So this is where your niche comes from. A lot of the times people say, one of our most popular podcast episodes, one of the most requested podcast episodes for us to talk about is, hey, can you talk about niching? Can you talk about niche? Do I need to niche down? Niching, this is not a hot take. This is just the truth. Your niche comes from the problems you solve as a business owner, not the people you solve it for. Okay, so there's too many creatives that are not growing their businesses because they're so focused on, I only help this one type of person in this industry and their business is this big.
Chiropractors, yeah. Or I only work with this type of couple or in this location.
It's not to say that that's a bad idea, but often in the beginning, you need to broaden your niche a little bit, but not broaden it in terms of who you're working with, but broaden it in terms of what problems you're willing to solve. So a scalable offer is a clear solution provided to a specific problem, packaged in a way that's going to make you want to pay for it, people want to pay for it, and that is where your niche comes from, okay? So business growth, and this is why the niche thing is so important. You guys have heard us talk about it before. We're going to say it again, but business growth becomes exponential. So your business will go from 40 to 180 in 1 year, or from 60 grand to $130,000 in 1 year if you can figure out a way to get known and paid for doing one thing really, really well. Yep. Okay, so if you're taking notes tonight, you're going, I want to double the size of my business. Throw it in the chat if you're someone who wants to double the size of their business in the next year. Write double. If you want to grow your business by 300%, triple it. If you want to grow it by 25%, that is going to happen by simplifying your business down to being known for something and getting paid to do one thing really, really well for a client, okay? This is super important. And when you become known for something, this is where that exponential growth really happens. And so I'm going to give you a couple examples of different creatives in our communities, in our friend circles that have done this really well. So this is Owen. I want to introduce you to Owen Rossi. He's from Missoula, Montana. Shout out Owen. Owen does not just sell photos or videos. He runs a content agency. From the outside, it looks like he just sells photos and videos. Owen does not just sell photos and videos. His offer, his six-figure offer, is strategically positioned like this. Owen sells higher return on investment for paid ads content for direct-to-consumer product brands who rely on paid advertising to scale. Now, what does this mean? Okay, if you're not familiar with the industry, the content agency industry, or working with brands on their paid ads, this is what this means. Owen helps companies get more money. When they pay Owen $1, he helps them get $10 back by making them really good content, photos and videos that his clients use for their paid advertising. And his clients are often direct-to-consumer product brands, meaning they sell their products directly to people through the internet. They're not only selling to like outdoor stores or something. That's going through retail. So direct-to-consumer, selling products straight to a consumer. And Owen, because he's focused in on this, he simplified his business down. He went from $150,000 when we first met him to he's now doing $350,000 plus per year, because he's got some really, really good scalable retainers, okay? Victoria does not just sell brand photos. She's a branding photographer. Victoria actually sells confidence. She sells exposure to female entrepreneurs. That's her clear identity. So exposure and confidence are the outcomes she sells. Female entrepreneurs are the people, the identity she sells to. And they're people who market their businesses online. Victoria went from $4,000 a month. She doubled the size of her business. She's now doing $10,000 per month. We just dropped a podcast with Victoria, like 3 weeks ago? Mm-hmm. She's awesome. Go listen to that podcast. It's super fun, inspiring, and helpful. Okay, Jared does not just sell real estate photos and videos. Jared has a multiple six-figure real estate photo and video business, but Jared doesn't just sell real estate photos. Jared sells an effortless content experience with super fast turnarounds for realtors, that's his identity, who sell more homes when they get high-end next day content. It's specific. He's helping people get stuff done next day, right? Super important. Rebecca Soto, awesome. She's amazing. Soul Like the Sun on Instagram. She's an amazing wedding photographer. She actually is not on this call right now because she's in where? Tuscany?
She's in Tuscany.
She's in Tuscany shooting a 5-day wedding. One of her biggest wedding packages, I think, is her European weddings that she started to do. And she is selling these because Rebecca's not just selling wedding photography, but she's selling a wedding photo experience so thoughtfully curated for the high fashion magazine type bride. She's very clear on that, who's been planning her dream day since she can remember. And Rebecca is actually starting her wedding prices at $10,000 per wedding because she's gotten so clear on this. She's in so much demand. It's a great 6-figure offer, okay? Matt does not just sell social media content. He runs a social content agency. Matt sells the ease for a brand to show up online every day with his done-for-you social content strategy and his shoots. He went from $15,000 a year. He's doing $25,000 a month. He just had a $45,000 month a couple weeks ago, and he's actually going to be coming on the podcast. His episode's going out in like a week and a half from now. Yeah. So if you want to hear that story, you'll see it there. Madison, the last two right here, just to give you guys some more of these. Madison does not just sell social media management. Shout out to Madison. She's grown her business like crazy. She built a 6-figure business in literally like 2 months. Crazy story. It's true. We can tell you more about it. Madison sells not just social media management, but a growing brand online without having to work any harder if you're a founder. So she's selling social media management completely done for you to really, really busy business owners who know the value of social media but don't have the time to do it, okay? So Madison built to $100,000 per year in 6 weeks. And then you got Christy and I. We don't just sell photos. We don't just sell videos. We don't just sell logos. We run a photo, video, and brand strategy agency. We actually sell done-for-you brand builds, content campaigns for growing brands that need to launch super fast, look really good, and scale online. We are so clear on who we do it for and the outcomes they are going after, okay? So we had our first ever $100,000 month in 2025, as we talked about earlier when we first started this. So here's my point. What you sell matters. Who you sell it to matters just as much, okay? So here's an easy way to describe your offer. If you're sitting here and you're listening to this and you're like, man, these are all really great examples of people doing really, really cool stuff. How could I make my offer a little bit more spicy? How could I make it a little bit more clear? Clear is the big word, right? So that my ideal client actually understands what it is. Take a screenshot of this, take some notes on this. Here's the 3 things you need to figure out. Ideal client, the ideal outcome they want, and then the process in which you do to get them those outcomes, okay? And you just put it into a statement. So I help ideal client get these outcomes by doing this. Okay, that's the same framework we use for a lot of these people. Matt sells the ease for brands to show up online every day with his done-for-you social content strategy. That's the same thing we just talked about, right? It's piecing those all together. Now, here's some bonuses. If you can also add into this statement how you deliver super fast or how you reduce the client's time or energy commitment, like we talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this, right? Like Madison is like, it's a done-for-you process. The brand owner doesn't have to do anything other than show up for like an hour shoot once a month, right? So this is very, very important stuff. Figure this out. Everybody take a photo of this because I want you to sculpt this. Now, if you want a bigger offer sheet, this is totally free. Thanks for being here. We want to give this to you guys. If you go to Creativ Rise on Instagram and you hit follow and then DM us the word offer sheet, you are going to get sent immediately. It's just going to auto trigger it. This is the actual offer sheet that Christy and I, when we're going into a new industry or trying to build a new offer, this is the actual offer sheet that Christy and I use. It's going to ask you a bunch of questions and you can print it off and you can write on it and you can really think through your offer in order to make your offer super solid and to the point where it can build towards being a six-figure offer, okay? So here's the question. Throw it on in the chat. I would love to know what you're thinking here. Just the first thing comes to mind. What's one offer you want to be known for 6 months from now? What would that be? Throw it on in the chat.
Let's see it.
Let's see it.
What offer do you want to be known for in 6 months? What would you love to build 10K months off of? Go ahead and throw it in the chat.
Creative agency, bridal, love it. Fast deliveries, videography, websites. I love it, guys. Cool.
Sports branding, nice, amazing.
I love it.
Cool. All right, well, we are going to move into how to price a six-figure offer, because maybe throw me in the chat for this one. If pricing feels like a puzzle, you just cannot figure out. If it
Anybody
feels
else?
very, very confusing, and
definitely was me when I first got started.
It, and you overthink every time you price something, and it just gets really confusing. Or you feel like, oh, I'm just capped on what I can price. Like, I don't know how people are offering $10,000 weddings. I don't know how people are offering $10,000 campaigns. I just have no idea. We are going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about one of the crucial differences between how we price and how the majority, honestly, of the creative industry prices. So here's what we believe. We believe six-figure creative businesses don't charge based off of their time. We don't do hourly rates. We don't do day rates. You'll never hear that come out of our mouths, that you should be doing half day rates, and hourly pricing. Never. And you might be like, wait, there's another way to charge? There's a different way? Yes, there is a different way, and it's that six-figure businesses focus on pricing strategies based around value, not your time. Now, hourly pricing versus value-based pricing, you might be wondering, okay, what's the real difference? Hourly pricing is when you are pricing based off of what your time, what you believe your time is worth, and more importantly, what your client believes your time is worth. You're basically being rented, correct? Right? Value-based pricing, the worth of the value I create. We are selling the outcomes of what the brand gets, of what the bride gets, of what the senior gets, whatever it is. It's the outcomes. So when you charge for your time, I want to make this little argument for you. We're very passionate about this. When you charge for your time, you get compared to others, right? Hey, well, my day rate's this. All right, well, let's look what...
Throw me in the chat if you often feel like you get price checked. You get compared to other people.
You get price checked all the time, right? Or it's like, hey, this person's day rate's this. Why is yours so much higher, right? You're both standing there with a camera. It looks the same to me, right? So that's what happens. You compare to others. You get punished for efficiency. This one bothers me so much because I am a fast worker and I get penalized if I'm fast, right? Oh, it takes me only 2 hours. It took the creative down the road 6 hours to get the same project done. I get paid less? That doesn't make any sense, right? And it's also just a race to the bottom. Whereas when you charge for the values, when you charge for the outcomes of what you're doing for a client, your income ceiling massively rises. You get rewarded for efficiency and you are so much more respected. And this is, you guys, what you want to charge for. Take a picture of this. Time is finite, value is infinite. Charge for what you can always give more of, which is value. You cannot always give more with your time, but what you can give more of is your value, which is huge.
Yeah, so the question is, how do you actually charge for your value? What are the different pieces of charging for your value? Well, I'm going to break them down real quick right here. This is definitely something you want to be taking notes on. So the first one is you want to figure out what you are going to charge for your value by figuring out what is the expected return on investment. We all know ROI stands for return on investment, meaning if somebody pays Joey $1, what can they expect to make off of Joey? If you can't figure that out, good luck trying to sell somebody on something that's expensive, right? Selling $10,000 brand campaigns or $10,000 weddings or building to 10K months in your business is really, a lot of it comes off the mindset of understanding what is the value in which I can give people and what can I put a price on that. So ROI is what is the expected return on investment. Now here's a quick little example and an analogy that I want to show you that's really going to help you understand how ROI can kind of swing into what you're doing. So I got two different things on this graph right here, on this chart, okay? We've got pricing on the left, and we've got high ticket and high volume on the bottom. Now, here's the deal. So often people come to Christy and I and say things like, I want to make $10,000 a month as a photographer. And I say, great, like who are the clients you're working with? And they say, oh, well, I'm pitching a lot of coffee shops right now. And well, we love coffee shops.
We do.
Coffee shops are a low volume, low ticket business.
Most coffee shops,
Most business, meaning they're selling coffees for like $5, $6, which I still think is kind of crazy expensive. But in the grand scheme of business, that's pretty low ticket, okay? Their margins aren't huge. They're low ticket. And most coffee shops are not slinging 3,000 cups of coffee a day. So they're not super high volume, meaning they don't have a lot of money to push to you. And what it's really meaning is that if you're going to do a bunch of work for them, it might not impact their business that much because they're low ticket and low volume. So creatives that make $10,000 a month, and especially creatives that make $10,000 in one brand deal or one wedding, they're focusing on clients with higher ticket products and services or higher ticket volumes of sales. And that's because this is where the bigger budgets are, because there's more of an attainable ROI. So I'll give you a very clear example from my own life of this, okay? So there's two images here, palm coolers on the left, Yeti coolers on the right. These coolers are quite literally potentially made in the same factory. They look identical.
Secrets out.
Yeah, they look identical, okay? Palm Coolers was my first ever retainer client that I worked with. I started working with them back in 2016, I believe. And I always thought, hey, it'd be cool to shoot for Yeti one day. I grew up in the outdoors. A lot of my clients from the outdoor space. Yeti is like a gold standard of like cool brands you could shoot for. And the photo on the right is from a campaign I actually shot for Yeti back in like 2019. Here's the deal. My contract with Palm Coolers was 10 images a month for $500, okay? So super cheap, okay? My contract with Yeti, and my pricing would be way different now because this was like 7 years ago. My contract with Yeti was $5,000 for 10 images alone. So you can see I 10x'd my price on the second deal, which was working with Yeti. But you asked the question, well, Joey, if you charge for your time, those would probably be worth the same thing. But I'm sitting over here looking at you going, well, they shouldn't be worth the same thing. And here's why. Palm Coolers was a company that has now gone out of business. They were trying to make a carve out of the market here, and they just couldn't because Yeti was too big and they're selling very similar products. Palm Coolers had a somewhat high ticket product. It was kind of expensive. It was cheaper than Yeti, but kind of expensive, but their volume was so low. So they couldn't justify getting enough ROI if they were paying me $5,000 a month. Where Yeti on the other side, they talked to me and I was like, what would this campaign, if we could snap your fingers and this campaign went really well, what would it do? They're like, oh, well, we're looking for like a 20% increase over the next quarter by launching in Canada. So your photos are going to help us do that. And I went, 20% increase? Well, how much money is Yeti making? Well, they're public, so you can look it up. And I went, holy cow, that's like $100 and something million that my photos are going to be the leading assets for a campaign to help do. Easily $5,000. They're like, oh yeah, check, no problem. Let's pay you $5,000. No problem at all. Point is because they are a high ticket business with incredibly high volume. Yeti owns the market. They sell more coolers than anybody. So point is that you need to figure out where you are currently positioning yourself to solve problems for brands, for clients you are working with, okay? Are you only pitching or are you only trying to work with clients that are low ticket and low volume? And if that's the case, you've got to move on from that, okay? So ROI is what is the expected return on my investment? And I want you to think about it in terms of, I will always help a company get a higher ROI if they're higher ticket and higher volume because there's more at stake. If the photos suck and the $100,000 they spent on the ads because the photos sucked didn't produce anything, there's a lot at stake there. That's a massive ROI loss. Therefore, they're willing to pay more for the photos to make sure they get done properly, okay? Daygin's going to talk more about that later on. But here's the second piece, okay? We're going to rip through these. Turnaround time. How quickly do they need a solution? This is very simple. People pay for speed. I buy almost everything exclusively on Amazon. I can because I love speed. I love the fact that I can order it and it's at my house like later that day or in the next morning, okay? So the faster you can deliver your work, if you're a wedding photographer, if you can go from 6-week turnarounds to 7-day turnarounds, you can charge more for that, right?
Yep.
That is a piece of pricing for your value. Now, quality. This is the third one. What is the quality of your solution? This is very simple, but like, is what you're doing actually really, really quality? If it's quality, people are going to pay for that. Now, risk. This is the last one that most people completely overlook. I overlooked this for a long time. Risk is how likely is it that they are going to get what they want? How likely is it the fact that if somebody hires Christy, how almost like trustworthy is hiring Christy that they are actually going to get the photos or the videos or the outcomes that they actually want? Well, Christy's got a phenomenal reputation. She's been shooting weddings for like almost 10 years. She's been shooting brands for like 6 or 7 years. She's got so much portfolio to back it up. Christy will walk you through her process anytime there's a new client. Christy in the sales process will be like, hey, here's my process. Here's what this is going to look like. And because of that, people trust her because they're like, oh, Christy's taking the risk out of this project because she's got so many examples of how she's going to do this. She's got good systems. The risk is likely low with Christy. Therefore, Christy can charge more.
Yeah.
Make sense? So when you add all of these things together, ROI, okay? ROI, turnaround time, quality, and risk together, you get pricing that allows you to price for your value. So here's a quick example. We told you we were going to talk about our $100,000 month. So in February of this past year, 2025, Christy and I did $108,000, $246, okay? And we did that. Here's literally an open book. We're an open book. We told you no gatekeeping. This is actually what we charged in all of the projects we did that month. We did 4 brand photo and video campaigns that were all $12,000 each. That added up to $48,000. We did a rebrand brand strategy project. This was $50,000, almost $51,000. This was a big deal. We did 3 pin post videos. That's a fun offer. We love that offer.
Love that
Helping
offer.
people with
So
their
good.
pin posts. Like anytime a client does not have pin posts, sell them a pin post offer where you help shape their pin posts, shoot them, therefore any oncoming traffic onto their socials, they can direct right there. So a pin post offer we sold for $52.50. And then Christy shot an engagement shoot that ended up, you then upsold and then sold their wedding later on, but that wasn't in the same month. But you shot that engagement shoot for $4,000 and that paid us $108,000. Now here's the deal. Why am I showing you this? Because if we had charged for both Christy and I $200 an hour each, and we were all working on both these projects, both of us were on all these projects. If we charged $200 an hour each for the entire month of February, with the crazy amount of hours we put in, we would have only made $61,000. Now, $61,000, that's a lot of money. That's a phenomenal month. I would love to repeat that next month. However, my point here is that because we charged for our value, we ended up making $47,000 more than if we would have charged a high hourly rate like $200 an hour. This is super, super important, guys. So here's what I want to leave you with on the pricing section here. If you guys want help with pricing, we want to give you a free pricing calculator. This is what we use to price out all of our projects. And also this is what Christy uses to price out all of her wedding packages. So if you're in the commercial space, if you're in the wedding space, whether you're a designer, whether you're a photographer, a filmmaker, in either the brand space or the social or the commercial space or the wedding space, go to Creativ Rise right now. Just DM us pricing calculator and we're going to get you over our free pricing calculator. You can make a free account if you don't have it already, but it's very, very helpful. Okay. Very, very helpful.
It's awesome. Okay, so we know how to build 6-figure offers. We know how to price them. How the heck do you get people to see what the heck you do and sell it, right?
How do you market
How
them?
do you market a 6-figure offer? So we're going to jump into that because 6-figure creative businesses, here's the thing. I want everyone to listen to this. They don't rely on motivation for their marketing because motivation is a very fickle thing. Anyone, type me in the chat if in the last maybe 2 months you had like a kicker of like, I'm gonna get back on socials and I'm gonna post every day. And then after about 3 days, you totally fall off the bandwagon. And then you're now just remembering, as I'm talking to you about this, about your commitment, right? Motivation is not a reliable marketing system.
No.
It is not. You do not want to rely on your motivation.
Taylor says, don't call me out like that.
Don't call me out.
You got called out.
I'm calling everyone out. I'm calling myself out, right? You don't want to have to rely on motivation. You want to rely on systems. Things that you can set up once and they continue to yield results for you. They continue to bring in new leads. So I want to talk about 4 systems that this will build a 6-figure business. If you can master these 4 systems, it will build you a 6-figure business where it continually brings in new clients every single week, day, month, whatever it is. And these are 4 things. And we're only going to talk about one tonight. That's all we have time for. But there
In depth,
are 4 things that are so important. I'll mention them really quick though. A referral system, okay? But not, oh, I hope my past client talks about me, or I hope my photography friend gives me a lead if she feels like it and she's unavailable. No, we have a strategic referral system where there's like an actual kickback process. I set up a system with maybe a popular photographer in town.
Give an example of this with wedding photography.
Absolutely. So if there's another wedding, if you're like, hey, I need more wedding bookings and I'm not getting anything right now, or I'd love to up the amount of wedding bookings I'm getting, or I want higher ideal client leads from people, you're going to go to another wedding photographer in your town or in your, niche or whatever. And if they look like they're getting ideal clients that you want and they look super busy, chances are they're having to turn away a ton of people every single day. And maybe they're just referring out to random people that they randomly think of. you can go to that person and say, hey, I want you to get paid for your no's. I want you to get paid for the things that you brought in that you have to say no to because you're busy. And I would love if you would send them my way. And if they book with me, I'll give you $500 or I'll give you 10% of the package or whatever. You actually set up an actual strategic referral system. You can do this with past clients. You can go, hey, if you send a friend to me and they end up booking with me, I'll do a free shoot for you or whatever. Strategic referral systems is a great marketing system for you to be able to lean on. Second, a strategic pitching process. This is a whole conversation, but basically this is just more than sending a random DM to a company being like, hey, please work with me, I'm a photographer. It's actually a whole system of warming them up and building trust and then actually having a solution-oriented pitch with follow-up processes and actual strategic process for you to be able to go and pitch other people. The next one is...
This works in the wedding industry too. A lot of wedding photographers don't believe that pitching is actually a way to grow your business. They have to
constantly wait.
It is. You can pitch venues to be, preferred vendors.
Yep.
You can pitch
other
wedding planners, like other vendors that get a lot of clients that you're like, hey,
people.
Yeah, you can see people post on TikTok. They're like, we just got engaged. You can pitch them. Like, I want to be your wedding photographer.
Rebecca pitches people all the time.
Yes.
We're outing her right now and she loves it. It's amazing. So then we're going to talk about a social funnel in a second. And then we have paid ads, right? Learning paid ads is not the most it's not rocket science. It takes some time, but it yields incredible results. Paid ads is something I use. It's like literally game changer if you want to not just rely on thinking every day to post, but actually set something up once and it will run for you forever. Yeah. So we're going to talk about a social funnel though. And what you might be wondering, what is a social funnel? What are we talking about? A social funnel is a 4-step marketing plan that attracts ideal clients and sells them on what you just figured out you're going to do, a unique and clear offer. And I want to talk about Rebecca for a second. As she's sitting in Tuscany somewhere, probably sipping wine the day after her wedding, Rebecca was in a stage where she was like, I'm living in Sacramento right now. All I'm getting are local bookings. I want to shoot in Italy. I want to shoot in Santorini. I want to be in Europe. She wanted to shoot luxurious destination weddings, and she had no idea how to make that happen. So what did we do? We built a social funnel with Rebecca. She created a guide that was called The Ultimate Guide to Elope in Santorini, a free guide, a free PDF. And what she did was she was like, I'm going to use this in order to funnel people towards my core offer, a luxury wedding in Santorini. And I want to do that. And she had never been booked for a wedding in Santorini before, right? She hadn't done it yet, but she created this guide and she's like, I'm going to do this. And so she built this social funnel. And literally, she had launched this funnel a week before this message. She said, oh my gosh, I just launched my guide. I just got off a call, or I got an inquiry already. I just got off a call and it's a $16,000 package for a 3-day wedding in Santorini. And I only launched the funnel last week. I cannot believe it. So I'm going to walk you through how exactly Rebecca did that and what a social funnel looks like. So it's 4 steps. The first step is you got to create attention. So this is where it's your top of funnel. This is where like all the new eyeballs are looking in on your business. And so you're going to create incredible reels, posts, paid ads, whatever it is, and you are going to attract people towards what you're talking about, towards your unique offer, but you're not selling them yet. You're just creating attention and hype. So that's what she did. She created incredible reels talking about the new guide, this free guide that she was going to be giving. The next thing is she educated them, and that's the guide. You don't have to create a guide. You could just create educational pieces of content. You could have, hey, a free audit for you'll actually like educate people on whatever. You can offer anything. Educate your people. That is the second step of the funnel.
Well, a couple education examples, as you said, free audit. So like if you are a social media manager, your piece of education or your piece of value in the social funnel should probably be like, hey, send me your social account, sign up for this, and I will give you a 3-minute social audit where I'm going to share my screen and record my screen, and I will audit what is good about your account and what's not good about your account. And you use it to obviously sell them on working with you, right?
Or you can like 30 days to a better brand or something like that, and you post every single day for 30 days.
Or if you're in the brand space and you're like, my free value is going to be a 3-part video series that people can sign up for, or a 3-part email series that people can sign up for, where you drop like, here's the 5 pieces of content that every brand should be getting shot right now in order to grow on Instagram, grow on TikTok, or have all of your email marketing content needs covered. Like whatever that looks like, education is so big, guys, because it proves to clients that you know your stuff.
Exactly.
And people who know their stuff get hired.
Exactly. So that's the second one, is educate and give value, which a lot of people don't do. And now you're going to do it. And then the third one is call to action. You're going to actually call them to action, tell them the next step of whatever you're educating them on in order to get them closer to their solution. And then it will lead to the core offer. And spoiler alert, she booked the $16,000 Santorini wedding. So that is a 4-step funnel. And so right now in the chat, I want you to put in, what is the social funnel? What's the social funnel you want to do? in the next few weeks to get up and rolling people, new eyeballs onto your new offer. Social funnels are the most powerful marketing tools in my opinion, and it can be completely free for you to use and build it on social media, which is huge.
Guys, I love the questions in the chat. Is there a recording? Yes, there is a recording. We're going to be sending it out. Are we able to get the notes post-call? I can't write fast enough. I love that you're taking so many notes, Lindsay. That's awesome. The recording will have the whole slide deck in it, so you can obviously go through that and get that, which is awesome. So, guys, we are just getting started. We are about to hear from 3 guest experts who are going to give us little mini TED Talk style, quick punch pieces of value on what one thing, just one thing each, that they have all done in their businesses over the last couple months that have been huge for them in creating 6-figure businesses. Every single person that you are going to hear from tonight is making over $10,000 a month, building a 6-figure business, and I cannot wait for them to share with you. So throw in the chat, throw experts in the chat, or just say, let's go if you are stoked to hear from Britta, Daygin, and Taylor. I love it.
After this, we're going to be doing live Q&A. We're going to be announcing the Peak Design Tripod winner. So make sure you stick around. And
we're just getting started, baby. We're just getting started.
These are going to be so incredible.
We're just about halfway through, and it's only going to get better, guys. So first person.
Yes.
Britta, I am going to pull you on up, and we're going to make you a panelist. I am so excited for this.
Real quick, Britta is not only an incredible photographer, but an incredible brand strategist. One of the things that I love that Britta's going to talk about is how she went from booking $5,000 weddings to $8,000 weddings, and how she's actually in the luxury market, but not having to pretend to be someone she's not, which is the biggest thing, the biggest lie that I think most people think when they have to get into luxury weddings.
Yeah.
So, Britta,
hello. What's going on? Hello.
Oh, great. I'm so excited to be here. We're going to get started here.
Yeah.
Amazing.
You are good, Britta. We just gave you access to share. Guys, I want you to pull out every brain cell possible that you can to take notes, because Britta's business is incredible, and I cannot wait for you guys to learn from her. Britta, floor is yours. Let's go.
Do you ever feel stuck in your current tier of clients and don't know how to make the jump to the next level? If this is you, type me in the chat. There's a lot of us here, and it's super frustrating to feel like stuck with your pricing and where you're at and all of that good stuff. So that is why I'm covering how I went from booking $5,000 weddings to $8,000 weddings by totally repositioning my brand and my messaging. So we're going to dive right into this. And because I implemented what I'm about to teach you, 3 things happened. Number 1, I was able to build a 6-figure wedding photography business within my first year out of college. Number 2, my average booking jumped from 5K to 8K within 1 year, which is a 60% increase, which is crazy. And then lastly, I now get to work with my ideal clientele, which is like my favorite part of the whole thing. And so we're going to go back to the beginning and go back to like old branding Britta. And this is what I used to think about the luxury market. I used to think that the only way to book more luxurious, higher end clientele was to promote a luxurious lifestyle of my own on socials, pretend to be someone that I'm not, and to be more exclusive and standoffish in my messaging. And yes, this is like totally the stereotype of the luxury market. It feels cold and professional and all that stuff. But let me tell you, it doesn't have to be that way. And so we're going to dive right into that. But first, here's a little look into my old branding, which is super fun. And probably the best way to describe this is shallow. It was so shallow, so vague. And I am going to explain why right here. But first, we're going to look at the visuals here. So back then, the whole goal for my business was to pretty much book destination weddings. I wanted to travel. I wanted to go to cool places. So I posted a lot of travel stuff. But the problem is that there was no emotional connection to my why. There was nothing for like potential couples to latch onto. My messaging was super vague. You can even read that bottom, like the bottom 2 photos down there. Super vague. Again, I didn't share my values or my why or client desires that I was gonna help with. And so as a result, I attracted very broad inquiries, got a lot of price shoppers in my inbox, which, no one likes price shoppers here. And then truly at the end of the day, couples didn't know why they would choose me over the photographer next door. So therefore, truly, I was competing on price and my pricing was low. So I was not in a great spot. So I wanted to make big change and see it reflected in my bookings. If this is you, if you're like, I need to make change in my business this year, type change in the chat. Because yeah, I still need to make change. It's a forever going process. So that is why I joined the Creative Rise Mastermind and totally reshaped my business. And I made three key changes. So we're gonna dive right into that. Number one, I shifted my messaging. I went from talking about the type of wedding someone was having. So, like, this couple is eloping in Zion this weekend. So, I went from talking about that to what they wanted out of their wedding experience. So, I really tapped into the emotional desire of my couples, and that became a huge priority within my messaging. Number two, I had totally changed my visual focus. So I went from sharing locations I thought my ideal clients would want to get married in to sharing moments that embody the emotions and experiences they want to relive for forever. So this is a photo example of that. This is Graham's right here, and she was a super important part of this wedding day. And this is a photo I like to share because these are the photos that potential couples want to walk away with. They're like, oh my goodness, I love my grandma too, and I want photos of her. And that's meaningful to them. And so number three, I shared the true me and it built big trust with my clients. And I went from looking like the cold luxury photographer I thought couples wanted. And I started sharing my values and I talked about myself and led with authenticity, connection. And this is, again, the best part right here. This caused couples to know, like, and trust me and making me their first choice when it came to booking their wedding photographer. I was able to connect with them on a personal level. And yeah, now I have clients coming to my door and they're like, we know we want you. And again, that's like the best part of it. And so now we're gonna step into my new branding here, and you're gonna get a good like before and after look of what I used to do, which I already showed that. And now this is what I'm currently doing. And I'm gonna show you all the changes within that. So the visuals here, we're gonna start with this. This is like my current Instagram grid. And you can see a huge change here. So the images are really showing presence and connection and a lot of like sweet, sweet moments on a wedding day. You can see the parents reading letters there and the bride and groom just chatting with their wedding party. And let's be honest, this is a very much more like emotional, emotionally driven. And the best part about it, it's consistent with my branding messaging. So that's what we have next on here. So my messaging, or quite honestly, you could call it my mission statement, my why, is helping couples be fully present on their wedding day. So, whenever a couple interacts with my brand at any point in the decision making process, they're coming across this idea of being fully present on their wedding day. And so, this is something that every touch point, they're seeing like, oh, I can be fully present on my wedding day. I can be with my favorite people. And they're seeing this on my socials, on my website, on my pricing guide. I talk about it on calls. And so, my messaging is oh so clear when it comes. To again that booking process that couples go through. And yeah, you can see there's a huge difference. Like there's a clear why in this versus before there wasn't really a why. And so therefore, um my clientele, they really can recognize themselves within my messaging. They see what I offer and they're like, I really want that. And so it's really cool because I get inquiry form responses like this. And it kind of looks like a copy and paste of like my why within what they're wanting. So even that first one, this couple really wanted photos of memories with all the people that they love. And then the second one, they wanted photos of the wedding day from their guest's perspective. And so again, these inquiry forms are so aligned with what I do and what I offer, and it has built so much trust. Also, side note, these are really great questions to have in your contact form. Like, pull out your phone, take a photo of it, because as you can see, like this is problem solving, especially that second one. This is problem solving for the couple even before you like hop on a call with them. Um, and that's what we're all about. We're trying to solve problems um, for our clients. And so at the end of the day, I made these three changes and it helped me go from chasing clients to attracting them. And so I was able to raise my prices by 60% because of the value I communicated in my offer through strategic branding that personally connects with my ideal clientele. And so to wrap this up, we got three takeaways. So if you want to move into the next pricing tier, you must, number one, connect with your client's deepest desires. Again, be that problem solver. Try to anticipate needs before they're even at your doorstep. And number two, showcase work that reflects the moments they long to experience. So again, anticipate those needs and share what potential clients are actually going to want. And then number three, authentically show up as yourself because high-end bookings go to photographers who are known, trusted, and genuinely liked. So I hope you all got a lot of value out of that. And yeah,
So
that's
good.
that.
Britta, so good. Hey,
Yes, in the chat, if that was helpful for you, like literally brand or wedding space, like
Yeah.
that was so
Huge.
good.
here's what I want you to throw in the chat. I want you, this is a great way to not only show Britta what you learned and show us what you learned. Throw one thing that you were
One
taking
takeaway.
away. What's one takeaway from what Britta just said that you should throw in the chat and let everybody know
everything.
you're either going to implement or you thought was really smart? Britta, that was so good.
To go deeper, like go deeper with your client.
I need to rebrand immediately.
Brand immediately. That's
Yes, I love it.
Thank you so much.
Fair
That was
enough.
Britta, you are awesome. In front of everybody from Christy and I, we're just so proud of you. So way to go.
Oh,
Like
thanks.
so proud of you. Your business is amazing. And I love the brand you've built.
You're an amazing person.
Yes.
That's even
which
better.
is even better because that's the most important thing.
Thanks.
But Britta, that was so good.
Yes,
I
thank you, Britta.
love everything we're seeing here. I'm going to bring up our next guest expert as we are diving on into this. You guys give Britta one more little round of applause. Give her a little clap. We're going to highlight and bring up, promote the panelists. Daygin here. We are going to throw Daygin on the hot seat here. So if you guys are in the brand space, you're going to be super stoked about this because Daygin is in the brand space. And Daygin is not only just in the brand space, he's currently killing it in the brand space. Daygin, can you see us? We got you.
What's up, Daygin?
What's going on, brother? We see you.
Got you. Good to be
Let's
here.
go,
Thanks for
dude.
having
Your
me.
shirt in the photo.
I know you're
Yeah,
the same
I
shirt.
just realized that before.
I love
That's so good.
That's
Well,
all.
guys,
You're
Daygin,
great.
a quick little intro for Daygin. Daygin is an adventure photographer and filmmaker from the Blue Mountains down in Australia who's gotten to work with massive brands. Like if you just look at a couple of the brands there that we have highlighted, this dude has gotten to work with industry leaders, brands that we've all dreamed growing up of probably working with if you're a photographer, filmmaker in the brand space. And what Daygin, what's really cool about Daygin's story, and Daygin, I know you've shared this, so I'll share it. But when we actually met you, you were like kind of living in a tent. And now you've gone on to like, you're like crushing it.
You're getting paid to shoot tents.
Yeah, we had a conversation not even that long ago. You're like, dude, like I'm even starting thinking about like, you know, the process of buying a house. Like the business has been just incredible for you. So not only are you so talented, but Daygin has gotten so ridiculously good at the business side of running a business. And so I cannot wait for him to share with you what he has learned. And I'm super stoked for you to take it away, bro. So it's all you, brother. Share your screen, go for it. Let's see it. Get pumped up in the chat, guys. This is going to be great.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thanks for having me. So yeah, as Joey said, I'm Daygin. I'm an adventure brand photographer based in Australia. So quick question to start us off. Do you guys feel stuck working with clients that don't understand the value of what you do? If that is you, chuck me in the chat. Yeah, it's definitely me in the past for sure. Oh. So today I'm going to be covering how I have positioned my work in a specific way that's taken me from being stuck shooting $1,500 jobs to landing $10,000 plus campaigns with my favorite brands. And because I've implemented what I'm going to teach you today, I've gone from, and this number blew me away. Christy asked me to look at my past numbers 2 years ago. I did $17,000 in the whole year. And this year in June, I did $26,000 in a single month. And this year, this month, September, I'm on track for another $25,000 a month, which is just mind blowing. Secondly, my sales calls have become so much easier because I have so much confidence in the value that I provide. And I know that I'm working collaboratively with the client, and I'm not operating off like scribbled down notes and sales scripts. And thirdly, I'm working with my clients long-term now. I am a growth partner with them, And so they get to see results and we get to work together long term. So going back a couple years, I was working hard. I was making good photos. I was delivering hundreds of photos to fill these galleries. I was making sure my photos were well composed and they were well exposed and they were in focus. And all this is good, but this isn't the stuff that gets you paid. So at the time, my business was built on selling my time. So charging hourly or charging a day rate, making pretty photos, and I had a high volume of low ticket clients. And I knew that this wasn't sustainable long term. And so my mind shifted and I started to think about what it might look like to earn $100,000 in a year as a creative, which for me was just crazy. And so charging my rates at the time, it would take 67 jobs shot in that year. I don't know about you, but I can't shoot 67 jobs in a year. But it only takes $10,000 jobs to make 100K. That's less than one job per month. And so I found myself in this pivotal position where I knew I wanted to do this forever. But if I wanted to do that, I knew I had to make a change. If you guys are in a position where you feel like it's make or break, it's either this works out now or you go back to your day job, type me in the chat because this is right where I had to make a change. Yep. So how do I solve this? Last year, I joined the mastermind and I quickly learned that higher budgets aren't getting awarded to the best photographers. These budgets are getting awarded to creatives who work with clients strategically and they help these clients build content systems that drive sales through their sales funnel. And my big mental shift came when I started seeing my photos getting used on web, in social, email, print, retail, billboards. And I realized that I wasn't just creating these pretty photos anymore. My content was now getting used in a system that formed the backbone of this brand's sales funnel. And these photos were starting to generate real return for the clients. So let's talk about a sales funnel. If you're not familiar with the sales funnel, this is a pretty simple one. We've got top, middle, bottom. Top is a new customer and the bottom is where they start to purchase. And so on the right there, you can see good examples of what you might see at each stage of the funnel. So top of the funnel, we've got billboards, magazines, social ads, banners on websites. Middle of the funnel is kind of the bulk of the content that you'd see in organic social, email marketing, blogs. And bottom of the funnel is where people started to make that decision to buy. So they want to know more about the features and more about the details. And a really interesting thing about this is how it relates to how we shoot. So the way that you shoot to fill the funnel is how you would usually approach shooting a scene for a brand. And so if you look at the funnel, it's kind of shaped like that. It's wide at the top, medium in the middle, and tight at the bottom. And that relates to how we shoot it. So if you look on the right there, top of the funnel, we're starting with those wide hero shots. And in the middle, we've got those medium lifestyle-y shots where we start introducing the product. And down the bottom is those tight, more product-y detail photos. So we know how to fill the funnel, but how does this result in getting paid more? So I've come up with this little never-ending circle here, 4 steps to implement this. So firstly is communicating on sales calls. So we've got this skill now to fill a funnel and create content that is used by a brand exactly where it needs to be. But we need to communicate that to them. So instead of just jumping on a call, getting how many photos you need to take and getting them to send you a brief, this is where you need to lead the call. You need to ask questions on where this content is going to live and how it's going to get used. Are there holes in their funnel? And how can you fill it with your images? Do they have great hero images and they're missing these key product images on their product pages? Or do they have really good studio stuff, but they're not selling the dream of where their product takes you? You need to identify that. And then we need to end your call with a precise execution plan of how you're going to do it. And this here is how you build value up front before you even shoot. And that is something that warrants a higher price already. So in the past, I was asking, how many images do you want? And now I'm asking, what stage of your funnel needs the most support right now? Secondly, you still need to go out and create exceptional work. If you're going to sell someone on an expensive package, you need to make sure that you're still shooting really good work. And this starts in pre-production. So taking all that information that you gathered on the sales call, you're going to use that to put together a strategic plan for your shoot. Uh, and that's going to make sure that you're capturing assets that map directly to the stage in the funnel that you've discussed with the client that needs to be filled. Thirdly, and this one's super important, just like for personal, uh, collate. So we want to gather proof of our work that's out in the world. So whether that's screenshots of your work getting used on social media, tear sheets from magazines or editorials, photos of your stuff getting used in retail, gathering testimonials, screenshots of website, everything you can to build this proof that you can add into a results library. And for me, this is really important because I got to see my work getting out in the world, and it was proof to me that my photos were worth something. And it really inspired confidence that I can increase my prices. And this proof also really helps for your next pitch, because remember, this is a cycle. And fourth is inflate. If you do everything else that I've talked about so far, but you don't raise your prices, then you're not going to get paid more. And so this is where you really need to back yourself, and you need to use this proof that we've just created to raise your rates with every project. Because now we're selling results that we can prove, and we're not just charging more, we're charging what we've already demonstrated our work is worth. So here's an example on the left there. This was shot for a hotel in China. I delivered 200 images. I was there for a week, and I charged $3,400, which to me, like, that hurts my soul right now. I think that worked out to be like about $600 per day. And at the time, like, I was stoked with that. You know, before that, I was earning $25 an hour. So that was great. And now this was a job that I did recently, and that was shot locally. I delivered 15 images and 10 iPhone videos, shot for a day and a half, and charged $12,700, which is, yeah, that is just crazy. But I was confident in that. And if anything, I actually feel like that was undercharged just to work with the budget that they had. So my big shift has been from, I've spent a day shooting these, so they are worth $1,000, to these images are now the backbone of your entire sales funnel. And these assets kind of take your whole client from not being a client to purchasing a product. And so they're worth $8,000. You know, that photo on the right there, that was shot recently. And I think that was $7,000 for 5 images. And like, that's a car, so if these photos make someone buy a car, then like they sell one car, it's totally worth it for them. And so, yeah, just to reiterate, because I've become a content strategist and a photographer, I've gone from making $17,000 per year just 2 years ago to now having $25,000 months this year. Sales calls have become easier because I'm confident in what I'm selling, and I know that I'm selling business assets to my client, and I'm not just selling my pretty photos. And thirdly, we're working together long term. If you're struggling to keep clients around long term, type me in the chat, because I know that, like, I just can't cold pitch every week. Yeah, it's hard. So big takeaway. If you want higher paying clients, don't just aim for good work. You still need to create good work, but these photos need to build into the content strategy for your brand's sales funnel. And last little note is that I believe in you. It's a lot of work, and it may seem daunting, but like, I was in this workshop last year, and I had no idea how to grow. And so, yeah, just want to remind everyone that it's super possible. And yeah, if you have any questions or if you want to like jam on anything, send me a voice note or a message on Instagram, and I'm happy to chat.
Yeah, let's go, bro.
This is so good.
Guys, the chat is going off. Throw in the chat, what's your biggest takeaway from Daygin right now? Let them see it. Plug your Instagram handle. Daygin's Instagram says Daygin Prescott, at Daygin Prescott.
Yeah, check it out. Work is so good.
Threw it in there.
So good.
Guys, that is like a master class right there in how to increase the value of your own value, increase the value of your content if you're in the commercial space. And I saw someone comment saying, how does this apply to someone who does the video? It's exact same thing.
Yep.
The same thing Daygin is doing, and he's talking about photo. Daygin, you also shoot films. Like you shoot a lot of social content too. You use the same stuff, which is really cool. Yeah. Daygin, you're actually shooting this weekend. If I'm not mistaken, you're shooting a North Face project this weekend, correct?
Yep. Yep.
And are you shooting photo and video?
Yeah, we're delivering a 90-second video and 5 images.
Let's go.
So the same stuff Daygin just taught you right now for photo, you use a lot of photo language. Everything still rocks for video too. So, which is so good, guys. Daygin, that was incredible. And just as we said for Britta, man, I mean, the fact that you just said I was in this workshop last year, and to now see where you're at, I mean,
so much can change in a year.
So much can change in a year.
Discouraged, so much can change in a year, and Daygin is literally living proof of that.
Yeah. So we just want to like,
I live in a house now.
We want to honor you in front of everybody, bro. We're super proud of you, man. And you are not only obviously an insanely like talented photographer and filmmaker, but you have put in the work, bro, and you've gotten so good at the business side. And so we just want to say great job.
Yep.
And give a little clap emoji or something in the chat, man. Cheer Daygin on in the chat.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So and Daygin, I don't know, are you hanging around for some Q&A in a bit here? If people want to ask some questions?
Yeah,
awesome.
I'll hang around.
So Daygin's going to hang on, guys. So we still got one more guest expert. Then we're going to be getting into some Q&A stuff. So we are so excited about that.
It's awesome.
We have a lot more to go, which is going to be so good. Well, hey, next person we're going to be calling up is Taylor Caruso. Taylor is a social media manager. Taylor, we are going to find you right here, and we are going to throw you on up into this. So Taylor is a social media manager and content creator, and she is so fun, so bubbly, and she is also killing it right now in her business. Taylor, can you see us? Can you hear us? We just promoted you.
Yeah, she's coming up. I can tell. There we go.
There she is.
Taylor? Hey, everybody's so stoked. Let me just share my screen over here. What is
rocking the pink? I love it.
Stop shaking.
Hold on, Taylor. I'm just going to make sure that you are able to share your screen here. Guys, this is going to be so good. Taylor's going to keep up all the momentum.
Go for it.
Slay, awesome. Taylor. That's what the chat's saying. All right, Taylor, it's all you. Take it away.
Awesome. What is up, everybody? Awesome. Great job to Daygin and Britta. They are so stinking awesome. Hard to follow them, but we're going to try. So what is up? I'm Taylor. I am a social media manager and content creator based in Northern California. So if there's anybody who is a social media manager, comment social media manager in the chat. And I know that we've had a lot from some photographers and awesome stuff, but the principles still apply. So even if you're not a social media manager, hopefully you can take something away from this. All right. Well, what we're going to cover today, if you feel like you're over delivering and you're getting underpaid, type me in the chat. I think this is a really common feeling, and hopefully we can help you get over that. So I am covering how I went from $800 a month retainers to now $3,000 a month retainers. And I did this by changing who I was building my offers for as a social media manager. So because I implemented what I'm about to teach you, which so stoked to be here, I am now delivering less but making more. I raised my retainer prices from $800 to $3,000 a month, which is a 275% increase. Crazy. Joey and Christy put that percentage on there, and I was like, that is wild. Crazy to think of that kind of increase. So if you want a 275% increase in your prices and your business, comment 275. Second was clients tend to stick around 12 plus months. So I've created sustainable income and predictable growth. 3 is that I have now $12,000 a month in recurring retainer clients, which is awesome. So I used to think the only way to grow my business was to build offers packed with high quantities of deliverables to justify my prices, reach out to anyone and everyone who looked like they needed help with social media, and also keep my retainers cheap so clients would continue to pay me every month and stick around. So if this is you, comment me in the chat. Looking back, I realized that I was pitching to the wrong client. So I was attracting/pitching to solopreneurs and small businesses who only had $300 to $800 budgets, clients who wanted everything, but they didn't value strategy,
and work that drained me and was not sustainable. So if you're feeling drained, comment drained. We are going to hopefully get you over that drained feeling. I was burning out and working too hard for too little, which none of us want to do. When I did the Creativ Rise Mastermind, it helped me shape my offers to be positioned at the right clientele so I could earn more for the hard work I was putting in. So if anyone wants to earn more, comment earn more, because we all deserve to earn more. Joey touched on this earlier, but you have the pricing, high ticket volume versus pricing graph over here, which is such a good visual. So I started focusing on businesses with higher ticket products and services or who had higher volumes of sales. And this is truly where the bigger budgets are because there's more of an attainable ROI for the client off of my services. So this is just me putting into practice what Joey and Christy were talking about, and it does actually work. So here is 2 examples of one of my old offer and one of my new offer. So I won't read them all out, but you can kind of see the old offer has a lot more numbers, a lot more offers, a lot more deliverables, but the new offer has less deliverables, but it actually has more value. And the reason that this offer at $3,000 a month for technically less is working better than the old offer, which had more but was less, is because of who I was targeting. So I was targeting industries like the medical field, health and wellness, luxury travel and accommodation. I think the luxury there is really key. High-end retail and high-end professionals. Those are the people in the industries that you want to target and who are going to actually get the ROI from your new offers that may have less seemingly, but actually offer more value. So this is a great rule of thumb for an ideal client. If a business cannot tie a few clients to significant revenue, they're not an ideal social media management fit. They can barely afford you. They're not going to see your value because they're going to feel like they're spending all this money on you and they're not seeing good ROI. High value clients tend to, this is my green flag list for clients. So they tend to value strategy over volume, value long-term relationship partnerships rather than one-off relationships. And they value full service packages where I handle everything rather than done with you style of work. So if any of you are like, this is who I want to attract, I want high value clients, comment high value clients right now. We're going to get you there. So this is an example of a client that I currently have, client 1. So they are a luxury short-term rental Airbnb. And one reason I wanted to highlight this client was because if you are interested in the Airbnb space, comment Airbnb. It's such a fun market. But one thing to be careful of is who you're targeting. So this client is a green flag client because this business is their main source of income. They own 16 acres with 3 unique income producing builds/stays on those 16 acres. And they fully run and operate all aspects of their business. So they are someone who needs someone else to come in and offload the work of their marketing, take it off their plate. And they also are someone who has the right, like their nightly rates are in the $600, $700 a night. So they are a high ticket client that I want to attract. Client 2 is a boutique reformer Pilates studio. So they did not want anything to do with their socials. They have full trust in me and my process. This is key. Having full trust from your clients is going to be a game changer. They have also grown to 3 income producing studios. So these are another reason, like you could find a boutique reformer studio, but they might not have the sustainability income to keep you around. So this is a good example of someone who has multiple locations. Their membership prices are in the higher ranges, like $300, $400 a month. And each studio has probably about 150 to 200 members per studio. So they're getting enough money to be able to afford you. So this is another example of a good client to be targeting. So this client shift helped me go from burned out at 30K a year to now growing with comfort at 6 figures plus a year. So if you want to hit 6 figures, comment 6 figures. Joey and Christy are going to get you there. Your big takeaway. So if you want to move out of burnout and into a 6-figure business, you must pitch to businesses where the ROI makes sense, high ticket or high volume industries that can clearly see an ROI from hiring you. Choose clients who value strategy, not just content, because that really is the key, and they'll pay for that long-term growth, not just endless posts. You're going to become, like Daygin said, he's a growth partner. You're going to become a growth partner for these people. And the last thing is to target industries that think long-term. Whoops, not done yet. Oop. Anyways, you want to target industries like med spas, luxury Airbnb markets, and all of those things. But I hope you got some value from this. Canva wanted me to end, so there we are.
Playing the music for you. I wish they were Taylor. That was
so good. I love it.
That is so helpful for people. Like literally, I remember this was not. How long ago did you start your business, Taylor?
Oh yeah, I started a year and 2 months ago.
Like you guys,
Amazing.
a year ago. Like these are recent businesses that are being made literally up to 6 figures you were at a 6-figure mark really quick into your
A couple
business.
months, yeah.
Yes,
Which is,
yes, a couple months, which is wild to think about.
and that's the benefit of social media management, right? Because it's so recurring. It's a retainer relationship.
Yep.
You get 2 to 3 clients at $3,000 a month. You're making 60, 70, 80, $100,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
incredible. So
Yeah.
this is possible, guys.
Yeah.
Taylor is a phenomenal example. So Taylor, in front of everybody, I
Yes.
just want to again honor you, and you've put in the work, you've grinded, and
Yeah.
most importantly, you're also working in an industry that's just growing really quick. You've picked a really good opportunity, which is awesome. So we're super proud of you, and that was amazing.
Yeah. So
Such good value.
Great in the chat for Taylor. Taylor, thank you so much. All right. So throw your takeaway for Taylor in the chat. She will absolutely love to hear that because that was so valuable.
Yeah, I love it. What are some takeaways we got here? How do you go about building? Oh, here's the other thing, guys. If you guys have questions, start throwing them in the Q&A panel. We are about to get to Q&A. We are
Yes.
about to get to Q&A,
Yes.
which is going to be so awesome. You guys can see this right here, but we have covered these 7 strategies so far to help you grow. We covered the 4 stages of business. We've covered the building 6-figure offers, pricing those offers. We've gone all the way into even the marketing side. Britta talked, Daygin talked, and now Taylor's talked all about the one thing that has helped them get to the mark where they are doing over $10,000 per month, which is incredible. So a lot of you guys are probably going, man, I feel closer to my next $10,000 already. Who agrees? If that's you, throw me in the chat. Let us see it.
10K a month.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad you're here. That was our promise. That's what we wanted you to feel being on this workshop. We're not done. I'm just asking you the question. So at the same time, though, there's probably a lot of you guys that are considering, man, there's a lot of things I'm realizing I don't know, or I just learned some things that are really cool, but I can see myself hitting some roadblocks and actually like making it all happen after this workshop is over. And that's a very normal thing to feel. Throw it in the chat. Throw me if that's you right now. It's a very normal thing to
Yes.
feel. When you're around a lot of inspiration and education, you can feel like that, and that's fine. That's okay. So here's the bad news with this though. 92% of creatives, this is a stat that honestly keeps Christy and I up at night. 92% of creatives never hit $100,000 per year. All 3 businesses we just showed you, Christy and I's businesses, Daygin, Taylor, Britta, they're all in that top 8%, right? That is a statistic that we would love to change, and we'd love to see change.
Absolutely.
But here's the deal. There's a gap between knowledge and there's a gap to then actually achieving success. Does anybody know? Throw it in the chat. What do you think is the difference or the thing that really helps you go from knowledge to succeeding on the things that you're actually learning?
Throw it in the chat.
Throw it in the chat. I'm seeing some action. Yeah, execution. Failing forward. Henry, I like failing forward. That's cool. The gap is, as basically what you guys are saying, it's implementation, right? The gap is, how do I actually implement the things that I'm learning? That is the difference between somebody, we see this all the time. There is a thing called information obesity, and it is the toxic, what do we want to call it? Toxic trait.
Taking in information.
You want to consume all the information, but you never actually want to implement it, right?
Yeah.
You love getting on workshops. You love reading books. You love watching YouTube. You love scrolling TikTok, but you struggle to actually implement. And part of that is because creatives often don't know what to implement, okay?
Yeah.
Well, here is what we want to encourage every single one of you guys on this call to implement. Take a photo of this, okay? If you're thinking, man, how do I build a 6-figure business foundation in the next 3 months, next 6 months, the next 2 years? Well, this is your answer. These are the 6 pillars that if you can build, and if you can even build them, not even like perfectly, but somewhat well, you will be on your way to making $10,000 per month
100%.
and on your way to hitting 6 figures per year. So you've got pillar 1, that is bulletproofing your offers and pricing. We talked about that tonight. Pillar 2 is all about mastering your brand. Britta talked a little bit about that today. Building a profitable network. This is something that is so important in order to build a 6-figure business. Daygin kind of talked about this. He doesn't have time because he's shooting so much to pitch all the time. So he's got to build a really solid network that wants to continue to come back to him and work with him, right? The full get booked marketing system. That's pillar number 4, understanding the entire basically implementation strategy around all the different things inside of a marketing system that makes your business grow and hopefully grow a little bit on autopilot so that while you're out working, you've got some systems working for you. Pillar number 5 is going to be the 6-figure sales strategy. We could do a whole workshop.
Sales calls.
Anybody throw me?
Gets scared or hates them or finds them awkward or uncomfortable or can never actually book on the call.
Throw me.
Sales call.
Sales is not easy for a lot of creatives. And it was not easy for either of us when we first got started selling our own services as photographers, filmmakers, and brand strategists, designers, and all that stuff as well, right? So that is pillar number 5. Now, pillar number 6 is the 6-figure scale plan for your time, for your money, and for your system. So if you can implement all these things, you will be on your way to building a $10,000 per month business and a 6-figure business, which is awesome. Now, here's a great example of this. Shout out to Ryan and Chanel. Ryan and Chanel are round 10 mastermind grads. And they sent us a message a couple months ago, which was so great. We love when we get messages like this, and it happens all the time. Ryan and Chanel did $100,000 just in 5 months as photographers and filmmakers. They're from Newport Beach, California. They shoot brands and they shoot weddings. And they sent us a message. Chanel said, we just passed $100,000 for 2025 in just 5 months. And it's such a trip because before meeting you guys, that was actually our biggest dream to hit 6 figures. And we wanted to do it in a year, and we've now done it in just 5 months. Forever indebted to you too. So I'm trying to get across that if you implement these 6 pillars, you can also do things like Ryan and Chanel are doing, which is amazing. Now, the good news about this is that these 6 pillars are things that we, Christy and I, have helped 384 businesses intimately build these 6 pillars into their business over the last 6 years. Since 2019, we've been helping businesses just like yours, just like Ryan and Chanel, just like Britta, Daygin, Taylor, build all 6 pillars into their business so they can build a 6-figure business foundation. That's what we call the 6 pillars. When you put them all in one spot, you have a 6-figure business foundation. And how we do that is something that we think is pretty unique, okay?
Yeah.
How we do that is the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind. So 6 years ago, Creativ Rise started on this random idea where we sat there and we went, man, is there some stuff that we do in our own businesses? Because we're getting asked about it online all the time from other photographers, filmmakers, people in the wedding space, and the brand space. Are there things in our business that we could dedicate to be called somewhat pillars? And could we break those up into a 6-week thing and teach other people? And we tried it, and it works really well. And we've been doing the same thing for the last 6 years, and it's helped 380 creatives make $112 million over the 6 years.
Crazy.
That is a crazy number, okay? Now, how do you get to a number like $112 million? Well, it's because every single business we've gotten to work with has gotten access to these 4 opportunities, okay? These 4 things are what takes someone from isolation, chaos, we talked about chaos earlier, confusion, burnout. Okay, these 4 things are strategic tools, systems, and knowledge. You guys got some of that tonight. We're talking about those things. There's more to come. We're going to do a ton of Q&A, right? Helping you understand the strategic tools, systems, and knowledge. The second thing is you need a no gatekeeping community. Hopefully you felt that tonight. We showed you literally like dollar for dollar what our $108,000 a month looked like. Daygin, Britta, Taylor have been not gatekeeping things either. Like you need a community around you that is not gatekeeping stuff. That is how you're going to grow. Yeah. Growth-focused accountability. You are my wife. You could speak to this very well. If I don't have things that are like that I'm accountable for, I just probably won't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm gonna be doing something else, you know, like true. I need accountability. Throw me in the chat. Anybody else need accountability? Like I need accountability or else I just get confused. They're not confused. I just get like distracted by things and I'm fiddling with this piece of gear, fiddling with that, right? So growth focused accountability is when you have peers that want to see you win. They're not competing with you. They want to see you win. And they're going, man, I want to see Daygin win. I want to see Christy win. That is growth focused accountability. And you all need that. And then last but not least, how you grow and build those 6 pillars really quickly is you have somebody guide you through it. You have personalized coaching and implementation advice. So these are actually the 4 opportunities that we have built into the 4 things that the mastermind does. The 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind has on-demand modules that teaches you all the strategic tools, systems, and knowledge you need to build out all 6 of those pillars. We have weekly group coaching live calls, which is where you have a no gatekeeping community and you have a ton of accountability and you have coaching. We have semi-private strategy calls with Christy and I, where we can actually give you personalized coaching and implementation advice. And we have a community platform, which is really cool, so that you can actually be engaging with people that are not competing with you, but they're cheering you on. So these are the 4 things that the Creativ Rise Mastermind encompasses. And who is it for? Well, it is for the same people that are on this call tonight. Brand photographers and filmmakers, wedding photographers and filmmakers, content creators. That's actually a photo of Taylor, fun photo of Taylor. Shout out Taylor, and social media managers, okay? So these are the people that if you can build these 6 pillars into your business, you can go on to build a 6-figure business. And the question is, Do you want to be able to do that in 6 weeks? Okay. That is the question. So there's been 380 graduates we talked about, raving reviews. All of these are on our website. If you ever want to read any of these, there's lots of amazing stories. If I was to zoom in on some of these people here, there's probably a bunch of people that you actually follow online. You might recognize a bunch of these people. These are all phenomenal creatives that we've helped build six-figure business foundations for over the last 6 years, because they decided, I really want to build all 6 of those pillars into my business. And now these creatives, the same creatives I just showed you and a ton more, have gone on to work with the world's largest brands. Even just Daygin, he's shooting with North Face next week, right? Huge brands, because they've learned the 6 pillars and they've been implementing them. Now, even better, this might be even more fun because you get to travel and go to some beautiful places. This has also helped wedding photographers shoot all over the world.
Absolutely. Like we mentioned, Rebecca, who went through the Creativ Rise Mastermind, is literally in Tuscany right now and has been there for 4 days. You've got people that go into places like Switzerland, Scotland, Thailand, New Zealand, Australia, Japan, Banff, Hawaii, Cabo, Spain, Century, literally endless locations of people being able to get outside of just their box, if that's what they want, and be able to travel and shoot really amazing weddings with couples that really value them, right? Really, really value
Which
them.
is incredible.
Yeah. And then these are a couple other stories. We've got Owen Rossi, who's amazing. He founded Native Release. We talked about him a little bit earlier in the offers section. He was a round 11 grad in the 6 weeks, in literally the 6 weeks of the mastermind. He made $98,000 in the 6 weeks.
Which is insane.
Agency, which is insane.
Insane.
Insane. And then there's Haley Zumkeller, who's incredible. She's Haley Zumkeller Photography. She is a wedding photographer and videographer. She was in round 7 with us, and she built a multiple 6-figure wedding photography business and is absolutely
Haley is awesome.
She was able to actually go live in Australia this last year for her off season because she was already booked out for the next year.
And because
so cool.
the real part is because she's so good at systems. She's implemented this marketing systems that allow her to live in Australia and then still have a bunch of weddings come in for the summer months in Canada where she's from. So we've got, again, guys, endless stories, creativrise.com. You can go and watch all, these are all videos. You can watch people talk about their experience, and you can probably find a lot of similarities to where they used to be and where you might be right now. So as we said, the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind is designed to help you confidently build a 6-figure business by implementing the 6 pillars that we give to you. So you don't have to guess. We take out all the guesswork, which is a very, very important thing.
Yeah.
And we got some really exciting news.
We got some big news, you guys. We have not run one of these masterminds for 7 months.
Yeah, we run them only twice a year. So it's been a half a year since the last one.
And so there's been a long period of time, a long stretch of a lot of creatives who are sitting in seats just like you going, I want to build 10K months. I want to build a 6-figure business.
Throw me in the chat if that's you. If you're like, yeah, I want to do that.
I want to get actually paid to do what I love without feeling like I need to go get another job. Or maybe a lot of people already doing incredible things, working with big brands, working with amazing couples and clients, and already over the 6-figure mark, but feeling like they need systems to actually help it scale up to the multiple 6 figures. A lot of people that start already at the 6-figure threshold who want to multiply that or figure out a way for it to be sustainable. It's been 7 months since we've last launched, and the time is now.
This is the great news.
Our next round of the 6-week mastermind, the round 14, starts September 21st. Yes, this September. It is September, folks, and we are getting started our next 6-week mastermind. Limited
18 days. 18 days from now, we're getting started.
18 days from now, limited to 35 businesses. We are getting started, which is massive news because, again, we only run this thing twice a year. We only take 35 businesses every single time.
And why do we do that? For everyone that...
The reason we only take 35 businesses, we could absolutely pump this thing full of 100 creatives. We could right now be like, everyone on this call, let's do it together. But we don't want to do that.
We can't do that.
We don't want to do that because we want people to get real results. We're not just like, hey, trying to just push out stuff and just try to sell things. We want people to get real results, which is why our testimonials are so crazy, is because we make it small. We make it a community. Joey and I literally daily are walking this community through the 6 weeks. We're present every single day. We're going through things, and we want to make sure people actually hold each other accountable. This is not just something where it's a big, massive crowd. It's something for only people who are like, I want to take my creative business to the next level.
Yeah.
Only for people like that. So we only take 35 spots and we cover.
Yeah, you might be wondering, what is actually covered? Well, I talked to you guys about the 6 pillars. Inside of this, you will see all 6 pillars, and this actually has a week-by-week breakdown. So week 1, we're going to be talking and teaching you how to implement the bulletproofing your offers and pricing into your business. We're going to teach you the rules of building six-figure offers, building your signature offer, the art of problem solving. Daygin talked about it in the chat. He said, I feel like now that I've learned this, I could literally build any business because of the art of problem solving and how we teach that, how to price your work, whether you're in the brand space or in the wedding space, building six-figure growth plan. And we have a live group coaching call every single week. So on the 25th, and then you also get your first, the first week is the semi-private strategy call with Christy and I. Week 2 is all about mastering your brand strategy. We're going to be going through the ideal client workshop, building brand identity pillars, doing brand audits for you, building a six-figure brand strategy, which is really cool. Week 3 is going to be about how do you build a profitable network? Whether you're in the wedding space or you're in the brand space, how do you network like a pro? How do you build profitable industry relationships, connect with ideal clients, and get the attention of dream clients or dream brands? Also have a weekly coaching call as we do every week. Week 4 is the Get Booked marketing system. You're going to be putting in
is massive. You guys.
Yeah, you're going to be like actually building out the full system. We showed you a piece of it, but there is so much in this system. So understanding deal flow, the pitching brands masterclass, and we give you our templates that we've used for the last decade and refine them to really help ourselves and people like Daygin land awesome dream clients, building your sales funnel to get consistent, predictable leads, organic marketing formula, the paid advertising bootcamp, and of course, a live coaching call. Week 5 is going to be the six-figure sales strategy. This might be my favorite week because this is where we see the most friction, I would maybe call it, in most businesses. Is they maybe get good at some of the other stuff, but then they keep losing deals because of the sales. So helping people understand how to sell without feeling salesy or having to be someone you're not, because that sucks. Feeling like you need to be someone you're not to try and get a deal over. We're going to teach you how to avoid that. So the Get Booked 7-step sales system, mastering the sales call demo. We're actually do fun sales call demos where you'll sell me and I'll turn around and sell you back on it. And we'll talk about what's gone well. We workshop that, which is really cool. The Sell Like a Pro meeting cheat sheet, which is really great. If you ever sit in meetings, you're like, I don't know where to direct the conversation. We're going to give you the 7-step sales plan to do that, but then also give you cheat sheets for that. Onboarding and upselling clients, how to build a signature customer experience, contract templates, and a live group coaching call. Week 6 is then going to wrap it all up with the how do you actually scale your time, your money, and your system. So scheduling out your growth, building a team, the 6-figure money management system, and obviously we end with a group coaching call.
Absolutely. Can you roll back to the slide that has the 4 different things of like each week?
Totally.
So I'm going to walk you through this real quick because you might be going, okay, is this like a course? Is this just like a mentorship? What is this? We've designed this to be what we believe are the best 4 basically pillars for you to be able to move forward in your creative business. So it's almost like an all of the above. So we have on-demand modules, which are like course content that are dropped every single week on Monday morning at 9 a.m. PST. You will get the modules for that week. We go through them together. We don't just drop a ton of content on you and expect for you to figure it out. We go week by week. The entire community goes through the exact same modules week by week. So we drop those on Monday. Those are the on-demand modules. Those are, you go through at your own time, all of what we just covered. Then every single Thursday, we have our weekly live group coaching call with Joey and I. It's a call like this, except it's a normal Zoom room so everyone can talk, everyone can see each other.
We can see you,
Lots of interaction. And that is not just like us sitting, teaching at you. It is very interactive. We're workshopping together. We're doing breakout groups with, again, only your 35 people that are in round 14, not other people outside of that. So we do that every single Thursday at 4:30 p.m. PST during the 6 weeks. We also do a semi-private strategy call with you and your pod group. Now, the pod group is you and 2 other businesses inside of the mastermind that you're an accountability pod. You're going to hold each other accountable all the 6 weeks. We intentionally put those together. And during the first week, we jump on a private strategy with you and your pod.
So fun.
You might be wondering, wait, why is it not just one-on-one? Because this is the group that's going to hold you accountable. You get one-on-one attention during this private strategy call, but you have those 2 people watching your strategy call happen so that they know how to hold you accountable and vice versa. And then lastly, we have a no gatekeeping community. We have an Instagram group chat that's literally fire. It goes off every single day. We're in there every single day, answering questions, sharing wins. People, we have a thing called Ring the Bell where it's, hey, anytime you make $1 in your business,
celebrating it.
We're celebrating it, and you're putting in the chat what you made and how you made it so that you also get to see how other people are winning deals. So we ask questions in those. We also have an app where you can have you can put in audits and we'll audit your pitches. We'll audit your pricing guides, whatever it is. It is incredible. So those are the 4 components. I just want to be super clear. That is what this is. It is so much value.
Yeah, tons. So here's the deal, guys. Our $100,000 a month was cool. Our 6-figure businesses are cool. Making, signing big deals like earlier this year, and I'm actually in the process of talking with the same client again about another deal. It's probably gonna be like $70,000, $60,000. Like, these are all cool things. However, your next $10,000 month or your next $20,000 month, Daygin talked about he's going to have in September another $25,000 month. That is way cooler to us.
Way cooler.
Way, way, way cooler. We literally live and breathe seeing creatives get paid to do what they love. Sounds funny, but it genuinely keeps us up at night. Like I'm constantly going to bed thinking about things like, man, how could we do this or help creatives this way? Or, oh, I remember I did this on this sales call. We should write that down because we should give that value to people. Make sure people can get that, because what Christy and I have experienced over the last decade together, so like 2 decades of experience running our own creative businesses, is something that I'm like, I couldn't imagine living any other way.
Yeah.
This is so incredible to get to do what we love for a living and get paid for it. We want to help other people do that too, which is really incredible. So here's the deal. Applications for the remaining 30 spots. But Joey, you said 35 spots. Christy, you said 35 spots. Yeah. We pre-released 5 spots yesterday just for fun, or the day before for fun. And they all sold out within like a couple hours because we have a wait list of a bunch of people. So applications for the remaining 30 spots go live publicly. It's going to be up on the website, like direct access to the application on September 7th. But because you guys are spending time with us here tonight, this is the big news Christy was talking about. We want to give you guys all access to the 30 spots. But here's the deal, not just the 30 spots. We're sweetening it and making it more fun. So if you apply for early access, which is right now until September 7th, it's early access. You not only get the opportunity to apply for one of the remaining 30 spots for the next round, round 14 of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind, but you also get $100 off your enrollment, and you get these 5 bonus courses that are a value of about $1,000. So I'll show you what these bonus courses are right here. These bonus courses all solve an individual problem, okay? The Selling with Pin Post course is going to teach you how to build pin posts on your profile that are going to help you sell more as a business digitally on social media. Now, here's the deal. If you're in the commercial space, the brand space, you can take this and then resell it to your other clients. Like learn the framework we teach you and then go make it an offer you sell and sell it for $3,000, $5,000, $6,000 to your own clients, which is huge. We're then going to give you the pitching course, the pitching template. It's going to give you all of our templates, literally word for word what we say when we're pitching brands. That's $99 of value. Brand strategy, social blueprint, $397 of value, teaching you how to build a really great brand online. The sales call formula. This is the thing that gets so many people over the line and helps them get to $10,000 per month, is they just start closing more deals. We're going to show you the exact 7-step sales plan that is included for free, and the portfolio to profit course on top of all the other content that you get access to inside of the 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind. And this is only available for early accessors before September 7th, which is great.
And you have to apply before September 7th to qualify for these, or else it goes over.
So if you're interested, here's what you're going to do. You're going to opt in for early access right now. All you got to do is go to Instagram and DM us round 14 on Instagram. And what we're going to do is it's going to auto trigger you a message. It's going to allow you to sign in or sign up, and you're going to get early access. And immediately it's going to take you to the application. And then you can fill out the application ASAP. So once you get the application, apply right away. Okay. Again, we only take 30 spots. We typically get 120, 140 applications every round we do this, and we have to really pare them down. So the quicker you get your application in, the more likely we are going to look at it and be able to see if it's going to be the right fit and best investment for your business. And then number 3, you're going to get your spot and start your journey of growth. And we're going to help build with you, which is going to be really fun. So a lot of people were asking this in the chat. Claire just said, how much does it cost? Well, it costs less than something I bought today. This is strategic. Today, I bought a new camera. We bought a new Canon R5 Mark II, and it was $4,000, which I think is too much money. But it drives me crazy that one of our other cameras doesn't have a recording limit past, or has a recording limit of 30 minutes or more. So I was like, I need to go buy this new Canon R5 Mark II. Here's the deal. The mastermind teaching you how to build a 6-figure business foundation is less than that. That is intentional. Christy and I have gone, how do we make this as approachable as possible for the right people for the most approachable price we possibly can? So pay in full is $28.97. Inside of that, you're going to get all the group calls. You're going to get the private strategy call with Christy and I. You're going to get lifetime access to all the content. So all the call recordings, all the modules, as long as we own creativrise.com, which we are planning on owning for a long time, you will have lifetime access to that. You get access to us helping you build out your 6-figure growth plan, and you have lifelong community. Rebecca, who is in Florence, or is she Tuscany right now?
Tuscany.
Mastermind grad. We talked about Rebecca. She's there she was there helping shoot the wedding with 2 people that went through the mastermind with her, who she's become like really good friends with. Her accountability pod is currently shooting a destination wedding in Tuscany because you create really, really good friends because this room is sculpted and protected in order to have really great and awesome people in it. So
get $100 off from that price if you apply during the waitlist.
So that is the price right there. There's also a payment plan. If you're like, hey, I want to rock in with some payments, that's also cool. Whatever we can do to make it approachable for you. So 4 payments of $795 over 4 months, really easy, right? We're trying to make it as approachable as possible for you. That is the price. But this is the cool thing. We've had 6 years of data on this. The average person that goes to the mastermind, the average business, gets a 3x return on their money within 60 days. Now, that is data from 380 grads. Some people get $20,000 of ROI. Some people get, Owen almost got $100,000 of ROI within the 6 weeks. Some people get 5, some people get 6, but the average is 3x, which is almost $11,500, which is really cool.
Which is huge. So you might be thinking, oh man, that's a lot of money. Like, oh, should I buy the camera? Should I do something like this? We think that there are a lot of purchases you can make. I think the thing that you have to think about when you are a business owner is what is an actual investment and what's a cost. A camera is a cost. It's not actually going to help you get a deal, right? It's not going to help you.
Helps you once you've
fulfill
made the deal already.
Exactly. But we focus on, man, our whole thing with the mastermind. It's not just like, oh, fluffy mindset stuff and like, oh, fluffy this, fluffy that. We talk about actual business skills because we want you to see an ROI ASAP, like literally so fast. So we're all about how do we get your business to make more money as soon as humanly possible. And so for people that are like, I need to make this thing, this is either my last ditch effort to make my business work or my business is already working, I just want to scale it. This is for you. So this is the investment of the cost. And we fully believe in it. And we're like, we know this thing works. And that's why we're so confident to show you pricing literally right up front.
Yeah, so, like we'll happily show you pricing because we can show you what the ROI is going to look like and what we're going to do to help you get there. So important info, round 14, as we said earlier, starts September 21st and 30 out of the 35 spots are currently available as we speak. We have a couple calls with people that have pre-applied already for booked for tomorrow. So guys, this sells out every single time we do it. This is the 14th time we have run this and 1 through 13 have all sold out. This will sell out. Again, that's why we only take 35 businesses. We could probably put 100 people in here, but you wouldn't get the same experience. So if you want to get one of the 30 spots, make sure you DM us round 14 on Instagram, DM it to Creativ Rise, and we'll get you over all the information you're going to need. So again, opt in for early access, apply right away, and then get your spot and start your journey of growth. Can't wait to hang. It's going to be great.
So you might be asking a few different questions. We're going to roll through these really quick.
We're going to jump into Q&A too.
We're going to do giveaway, and then we're going to do Q&A.
The giveaway, yes.
Should I just wait for the next one? You know, you said you run them twice a year. Should I just wait for the next one? Yes, you totally could. The next round will be 6 months from now. But our question is always, can you afford to miss out on 6 months of growth? Like, do you want to stay in the same spot and be in the same spot 6 months from now? Or do you want to start now? It might be hectic, but you can make it work and you might see the results, right?
The amount of people that we've had that have actually gone through the mastermind who said, I can't believe I didn't do this last year when I first heard about it, right? Because they're like, I've grown so much now. Can't believe I didn't do that. So that's the answer to that. That's an important question though. And there's probably a lot of you guys asking it. What's the time commitment look like? 30 to 45 minutes every week of modules is what we deliver to you. An hour-and-a-half community call every single Thursday at 4:30 Pacific Standard Time is when we do our group calls. Semi-private strategy call with Christy and I week 1. That's only going to be about 60 minutes. And then 24/7 coaching via the platform, the app, and the group chat. So this is one of the things that is designed for people that are doing things, building the business. This is not a, hey, come hang out with us for 6 weeks and we want to take all of your time up and give you 150 hours of content so that you never have any time to do anything. No, this is designed to go, how do we impact you with the most leverageable stuff in the shortest amount of time so that we can then help you build it out and you can start taking action and implement. So that's what the time commitment looks like. Which is, important.
Exactly. And you might be wondering, hey, what are the characteristics of the people that get insane results? What are the characteristics of people who grow the quickest? And here they are. So take a picture of this if you're thinking about starting and being, how do I embody this for 6 weeks? Self-starters, people that are motivated to get started and they'll do it right away. Open to direct and clear feedback and coaching. We are direct. We will tell you if something's not working. We will tell you if something could be better. We will absolutely give you tons of feedback. And so will all 34 other people in the group. So you have to be open to feedback and coaching. You got to do it scared. You got to put yourself out there. You can't sit in preparation and pretend like it's prep, but really it's fear. You have to actually put yourself out there.
I'll rebuild the
and do
website in
things.
3 weeks from now. It's like, no,
No,
let's
we're
do it before the end of the
right
week.
now, and we're going to do it, and done is better than perfect. We're going to focus on you focus on implementation, not just info consumption. Again, information obesity is only going to slow you down. How do you take in the info and work it off as fast as possible? You are someone who's community over competition. You don't get stuck in the comparison game. You actually celebrate wins. Literally, the people that make the most money from these things are the people who are cheering on other people as they win and going, how did they do that? And ask them how they did that, right? It's community over competition. There's zero gatekeeping in our community. And then lastly is just trust the process. You actually go through it. You implement everything we're talking about and trusting that it will work. And it does. If you actually do the work will work. So who is this for? Again, we said brand photographers and filmmakers, wedding photographers and filmmakers, content creators, social media professionals, service-based business owners. So people who are ready to build six-figure business foundation or want to maybe go multi-six-figure business foundation and who want to cut out the guesswork and be in a supportive community where the business growth is there. So you guys DM round 14.
Yes.
If you want to join us September 21st.
This is your shot to get early access, guys, before the whole world gets to see it on the website come the 7th. And again, we always do sell out. So really looking forward to this. Christine and I are so stoked about this. It's going to be amazing. If you've got questions, here's what we're going to say before we do the peak design giveaway, which we're doing like in 30 seconds. If you've got questions about the mastermind, throw them into the chat right now. If you have questions about building businesses, anything Daygin said, Taylor, Britta, anything we taught on earlier, or just general questions about building your business, go to the Q&A panel that you were going to see on your screen and write your question in there because we are about to start Q&A, which is really great. John says literally less. What's up, John? Good to see you, bro. Literally less than the mirrorless camera. Literally, the one I bought today, I was like, this is insane that this camera is more expensive than the Mastermind, and this isn't even an expensive camera. And this is not going to make me any more money, and the Mastermind teaches people how to make money. Questions in the chat about the Mastermind. How do you choose the problem we solve and who we solve it for? This is great. Hey, is the pricing in CAD or USD? The pricing is flat rate, no tax, USD. And if you are in Canadian, we hear this all the time from people because like 40% of the people that go through the Mastermind are from Canada. I'm from Canada originally. We live in California now. I'm originally born and raised in Canada until about 5 years ago. People say, man, it's too expensive. It's in USD. Or our Australian people or Kiwis are like, oh, it's just a lot of money with the conversion rate. Here's the deal. We're going to teach you how to take advantage of the US dollar. So if you don't live in the US, you actually have an opportunity so many people that do live in the US don't have, is that you guys can sell to US clients, work with US clients, and take advantage of earning US dollars. If you're not currently doing that, then the price being in USD shouldn't be something that scares you away. It should be something that makes you lean in and go, I want to learn how to take advantage of the US dollar. Flat rate, no tax, $28.97 US is the price.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So if you want to, again, early access is only from now until Saturday at midnight. So you got to get your application in before then. And literally we have calls already booked for tomorrow. Like there's a little spot to book a call, especially if you're like, I'm not sure if it's for me. Apply. We can jump on a call and talk about your questions, and no pressure call. So make sure you get in that application right now, especially before we just like wide open, blow it open to the public on the 7th, because all the spots will sell out and we want to see if you're the right fit. And we will be very honest with you if we think it's not the right fit. We will do that as well. So thanks for listening about that.
I love it, guys. You guys ready to get in Q&A? Throw me in the chat.
You guys ready to win something? That's what we're really doing right now. Okay, let's see. Can I get a drum roll, please? Okay. Da, 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 da. All right.
Winner of.
Wow, they have to be here live.
We've got a list of people.
Okay.
We're going to go through, and if we call your name, you're not on here, you don't get the Peak Design tripod. So as a reminder, the Peak Design tripod is my favorite tripod. It's like $400, and we're just going to buy you a brand new one and ship it to your door. Okay.
Amberly from Rise and Designs Studio is
Amberly. Are you here?
Here. Oh, gee, that's me.
Okay, Amberly, here's what I want you to do.
Perfect.
I want you to DM us on Creativ Rise, and we're going to get your shipping information, and we are going to send you a Peak Design tripod. Congratulations. That's awesome. I love this tripod, and I can't wait to see you get your hands on it. So
that's awesome.
I love it. All right, guys, we're going to get into some Q&A here. So I'm going to jump to the top, and we're going to roll through some of this. And so if you have a question about building a business, Christy and I are super serious about going, how do we help you implement things you've learned tonight so you can actually get results off of it, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to make more money than the mastermind would cost you just off of what you're going to learn in the next tonight and how you implement it over the next like 2 weeks. Like that's our goal. So if we can help you do that, let's do it. So Antonio, I'm going to answer your question first. What's the best way to reach out and offer branding, design, and content services to brands that might also have internal design teams? I run a branding and design studio, but I'm struggling with my client acquisition process. Every month is so stressful. I'm tired of this model. Help. Antonio, it sounds like you probably don't, what I'm going to assume, Antonio, if you're still here, throw it in the chat. What I'm going to assume, Antonio, is that you don't have an offer that is super repeatable. That's why you're not having clients on retainer paying you every single month. So I would shift towards that. But here's how I would pitch people that already have internal design teams. So here's literally word for word what you say. You go to the business and you say, hey, you're killing it. I love what you guys are doing. I know in order to keep up with the quantity and quality of what you guys are putting out right now, it must not be easy. I would love to help you alleviate some of that. Here's what I would love to pitch you to help your design team continue to do what they're doing well, but I can help you over here take new ground. Here's a couple ideas. Don't just pitch yourself and be like, here's my portfolio. I'm good at design. I can work in Illustrator, Photoshop, Canva, whatever you want me to do. Pitch ideas. Here's the ideas I have for some design stuff we could create that would benefit your business, okay? So you pitch it as a resource to help them take new ground, go after new stuff that they're not currently able to do because their capacity is limited to the people that are currently working with them, okay? That's how I would answer that. How do you sell?
Oh, yeah. How do you sell? So this is Rainan. How do you sell value-based packages without a guarantee or proof of the desired ROI? So I'm also going to say that this question probably also lends itself to, how do I sell something I've never done before? How do I sell something that I have proof? I don't have any proof of like that it actually works, but I know it works for other people. And that's the key. You don't have to sell like, hey, here's what I did for X, Y, and Z client. What you can actually do is use case studies, right? Like you can take a competitor and go, okay, like this person is not doing any of the stuff that I'm trying to pitch them on social. They're not consistent in their reels. They're not running paid ad content, whatever it is, whatever you're trying to pitch them and sell them. You can give them an example of a competitor that is doing it and is seeing success from it. And you can go, hey, we're seeing that in this industry, this person is getting these results. I want to do the same thing for you so we can get the same results, right? Like that is a massive way, using case studies, all that kind of stuff. So just go ahead and use other people that are already doing it and seeing success and going, right now, we're not doing anything. So right now we're guaranteed no different results. But we have, in order to try something new, we can potentially get other results, which is huge.
Yeah, that's great. Great answer. I'm going to, Daygin, I'm going to call on you. This is a question I think you'd have fun answering. I would love to contribute to this. I think your answer would be fun too. Daygin, are you still here? Throw me in the chat. I think you are. I'm going to pull you up and I'm going to highlight you again.
Here.
And we're going to be answering, while Christy's pulling you up, I'm going to be reading the question. This is from Liam Tobin. Liam, if you're here, throw me in the chat. We're going to be answering your question here, bro. Liam asked the question of best tactics to get your foot in the door with brands. I do a ton of outreach and get very little response. So Liam, if you're still here, or anybody else who's wanting to work with brands, Daygin, what's your answer? How do you get your foot in the door with brands that you're working with?
I missed the question while I was getting added to the panel.
Yeah.
He asked, how do I get my foot
How do you get your foot in the door with brands? He says he's pitching a ton and he's not getting much response.
Yeah, so I take a bit of a different approach than some people do. And instead of going for like heaps of quantity, one thing I'm focusing now with our like accountability that we're doing in the community right now is I want to focus on creating very high quality leads all the time. So a lot of my relationships are built like from the ground over a long period. And so that often comes with, you know, the general things that you would do, like interacting with them on socials, Instagram DMs, emails, all of that. But then like taking it a step further and like adding value up front without expecting anything in return. So if that comes as like shooting spec work or, you know, shooting work and doing a collab post with them, like that works super well. I just did the company Earth. They make like filters and stuff. We just did a collab post, and I was unpaid, but I was like, oh, I'll do it. And you know, just landed a small job with them, and I'm happy to do that small job because I know that like this is a relationship that in 2 or 3 years time is going to really pay off. And so
Yeah.
even though I am doing like these bigger like 5-figure jobs, I'm still like I'm still in the trenches with some other brands and like
Yep.
building, playing the long game, as Kai said. Like that's how I
Yeah.
approach it.
Yeah, I love it, man. That's so good. I got 3 things. I don't know if he's still on the call because we called his name and I didn't hear from
Maybe
him.
with
But
another
I got
recording.
3 things for you. And for anybody else that's wondering, my 3 things off the back of what Daygin just said, because that's brilliant, is number 1, don't pitch yourself, pitch ideas. So the worst thing you can do when you pitch is just like, hey, my name is Joey. I'm a photographer. Here's my portfolio. We should work together. I know that sucks because I did that for years and it doesn't work. Okay. So how you pitch is you pitch ideas. You don't just pitch yourself. Okay. So pitching an idea looks more like this. Hey, brand, I really love this product. I love what you guys did last week or last month or last year. And it reminded me or inspired an idea in me. I think we should take this product to this location, shoot photos or videos in this way that I think you're going to be able to use those photos in this part of your website or email marketing. And hopefully it's going to drive a lot of business for you. I'd love to chat more about this idea. By the way, here's some of my previous work, or here's some statistics that I've gotten other clients. Like, pitch ideas, don't just pitch yourself. Okay, that's number 1. Number 2 is you've got to use pattern breakers. Okay. I have been pitching brands for going on 12, 13 years now, and it is only gotten more competitive. Not in the sense of like it's harder to get hired. It's gotten more competitive as in like there's just so many people pitching, but so much of it is crap. Like so much of it is just noise. Everyone's doing what I just said. Like, hey, my name's Joey. We should work together. Bad pitches. You got to use pattern breakers. A pattern breaker is what can you do, say, show that is going to make someone go, whoa, that's different. So here's an example. Instead of pitching just via email and via Instagram DM, maybe record a video. Christy and I are going to be doing this week. Christy came to me the other day and said, hey, I really like this couch. It's really expensive. And we've been thinking about redoing the couch, like kind of set up in our living room for a while. And so we said, well, why don't we pitch the couch brand? So what we're going to do, instead of just sending them an email saying, hey, we're photographers, you should give us a free couch and maybe like pay us a little bit in exchange for some work. Instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to do a pattern breaker. We're going to record a video, whether it's on our iPhone or camera or whatever we're going to do, of us in our house and be like, hey, like, we're Joey and Christy. Our house is actually kind of like really cute. Here's like kind of this design and style. And that's an ugly section of our house. We need to fix that. And we're planning on fixing that. We really would love to showcase this transformation of our living room. And we think it would be really great for your paid ad library and the ecosystem you're running in paid ads. This would be a great content opportunity for you guys. Do you want to chat about what a partnership would look like? That is a pattern breaker. If I send them that video, that's way different than just sending them an email that says, hey, we're Joey and Christy, if you want a free couch, or pay us and give us a couch, right? A pattern breaker is what can you do that is like something 98% of other people are not doing. So maybe it's a voice note, maybe it's a video, maybe you're writing a handwritten note. That sounds super, super lame and old school, but how many people are writing handwritten note pitches? If someone that actually lands on the right person's desk, they're going to be amazed. So that's number 2. And number 3 is I want you to play the volume game. Daygin just talked about how he's playing the quality game right now. Daygin is playing the quality game because he is at $20,000 a month. He's killing it. He's got a ton of brands in his ecosystem and a lot of really profitable network, right? If you don't have those things, how you're going to get better at pitching is pure volume. You're going to not only get better skills, because the more every 100 pitches you send out, you're going to learn like, that didn't really work. And you're going to learn how to fix them and make them better. But also, volume is just the name of the game in terms of building industry relationships and connections when you have none. So first one is pitch ideas, not yourself. Second one is pitch a pattern breaker, do something that's unique, that's going to make you stand out. The extra mile is never crowded. And number 3 is going to be pure volume. The more you can pitch early on in your career, when you don't have enough work, that's going to teach you a lot of good lessons and hopefully lead you to a lot of good industry relationships. So that's my 3. Hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Daygin, let's see if we get another question up here while Dagin's up here real quick.
Let's do it. One quick question while Joey.
One thing to add.
Go for it.
In that first point that you had, like filling the funnel. Like if there's a hole in the funnel, you know, like call them out on it and tell them that you've noticed it and how you're going to fix it.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Good.
Here's one more question, Daygin, I'd love to get your thoughts on, because I can assume what you're going to say, and I'm excited for your answer. But what if you charge high prices to a client? They use the content and they don't necessarily feel like they got the ROI that you maybe told them they were going to get. Do you just charge lower next time, or what do you do in that situation?
I mean, I would jump on a call and like try and diagnose the problem like that.
Yeah.
We're still here to give results, and if they didn't get results, like maybe it wasn't my photos, maybe it was something else in their funnel. I've definitely had brands in the past that I've given them photos and I've like just seen how they've used it, and I've jumped in there and I've just gone like, hey, like I think this is gonna not work, like kind of just the way you guys are presenting this or something.
Mm.
But yeah, that's for sure what I would do is like is
Yeah.
diagnose the problem. And then if it is something that you messed up on, or if you didn't like hit the brief, or there was something that you didn't do right, like I would just go and fix it
Yeah.
and then show them the results.
Yeah.
Go reshoot it. It's always worth like making
The
sure that
relationship.
relationship is solid.
Yeah.
Sure, for sure.
Christy and I have a saying, like, never create a terrorist for your business. Like, whatever you got to do within reason, but like that reason's pretty big. Like, whatever you got to do to make sure that if you're going to brand yourself as I'm someone who solves problems, and as Daygin's talking about, he's a problem solver. Brands hire him as a content partner because he is a growth partner. And if something for some reason goes wrong, Daygin is going to figure it out. Daygin, have you ever done a reshoot?
Yeah, I mean,
Of course.
to Raleigh this year, like I did a shoot that I wasn't happy with, and I was like, here's the photos. I can't reshoot anything for another month because I'm super busy. But then I went back out, and like when we did another shoot, just like pretty much built out a whole nother library, and it's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Like,
amazing.
That's so
and
good.
they are a client that I'm sure is going to want to work with you for a long time, right? They super value what you do, which is amazing. You've treated them well. So Daygin, thank you, man. That's great.
So
Thanks for
good.
answering a couple of those questions, dude.
Absolutely.
I love it. Hey, why don't we jump into a wedding question?
Yeah, let's do it.
Maybe get Britta up here. This is the question. Chris asked the question of how do you price your packages for, am I doing something wrong there?
I got it.
Daygin, we're dropping you back down, bro. Great
Thanks,
to see you.
Daygin.
Thanks, dude. How do you price your wedding packages to be more focused around value rather than just standard hourly rates? Chris, are you still here? Throw me in the chat if we got you. Britta, we're going to speak to this, and I'd also love if you'd speak to this as well.
Yes.
I'd love for you to share what your packages look like. But Christy, why don't you touch on it first?
Touch on this of the question of, okay, if I'm not charging hourly, can I still include hours in my packages for my weddings? Absolutely. We're not saying that you can never say the word hour when it comes to whatever package that you're pitching to a client. It is more just about what are you actually leading with? If it's just like, oh yeah, my 8-hour package, or it's 8 hours of photography and that's kind of it, right? We like to lead more with like deliverables, some of the things else that's in the packages, the strategy that you're putting in. Maybe it's like, you got to figure out what's important to your client. Like for instance, like Britta's is so much about like capturing the special people that are there, right? Capturing the moments that are really important to them. And so maybe it looks like strategy calls that you're really leading the value with. And then it just also includes 8 hours, or it also includes 12 hours, or whatever. I kind of like doing packages more so on like, you have like a signature package, you have a basic package, and then you've got like a wedding weekend package. And like, how do you actually make them more just like tangible value that they can actually like really sink their teeth into? Because really they think they really value the hours because of the coverage it gets them. But what they really want is what they're getting out of the hours.
Yeah, the outcomes of the hours.
You want to lead with the outcomes rather than just the hours.
Yeah.
Britta, do you have anything you want to add to
Well,
that?
Britta, my question for you
How do you
is,
structure your package?
yeah, what are some things in your packages that would actually be associated with value rather than just time?
Yeah.
Such a great question. I think it's important to understand that if you're a wedding photographer, like everyone else in the industry is offering the same thing at the end. Like we're all offering a wedding gallery and, 8 hours of coverage, 10 hours of coverage. And so, as they said, it's important to really elaborate on what else you're giving them within that whole experience. So, for my wedding packages, sure, I have like 8-hour, 10-hour wedding weekend. Those are like the basic structures of it. But then I go like within that and I say, this is also what you're receiving in the end. It's not just a wedding gallery. You're receiving like a timeline call with me. We're going to create a mood board together. We're going to have different touch points where on the wedding day, you feel like 100% ready to go and you can fully trust me to show up and to direct the day. Because essentially, that's kind of what us photographers and videographers do on wedding days. Like, I mean, yeah, you may have a coordinator or a planner there, but there's a lot of other things that you do on a wedding day that don't like relate to the actual camera itself and the photos in the end. So maybe like really share that kind of value of like, this is like my personality on a wedding day, and this is what I can offer you to make you feel relaxed or bring the
Yeah.
hype or whatever it may be. So those are some ideas of like the additional value you can share that and even educate couples on that. Cause I feel like a lot of couples, when they start looking for a wedding photographer, it's like, oh, do they have a pretty Instagram? Sure, so do
Yeah.
20 other local photographers, but like what else are you gonna like differentiate yourself with and say, yeah, I can be X, Y, and Z for you on your wedding day. Again, solve that problem for whatever your ideal clientele like needs. So
I love that.
yeah.
That's good. Yeah. What's the differentiator? It's not hours because everyone's doing the same hours. You can't differentiate
Brilliant.
time. So that's really good.
That's one of the smartest things I think anyone could say about the wedding industry is what you just said, Britta, is that like there's so many things on the wedding day that as a wedding photographer, you are either responsible for or you're just naturally going to do. And if you're not talking about those, if you're not building that into your packages so people understand that that's value to be realized, like you're missing out. So Britta, amazing.
So
Thank you. I love it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go. Is there another wedding question in here that we could jump at?
Throw it in the chat if you got a wedding question while Britta's up here. If you got a question for Britta,
we have a lot of
drop it in the chat.
Good questions. I'm just trying to find another wedding one real quick.
So many questions. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay.
Struggling with pricing.
Okay, here's a question for you, Britta. This is from Emily. Emily, if you're still here, throw me in the chat. Emily said, I'm starting off as a portrait photographer and I've done a ton of, handful of paid jobs, but I'm definitely struggling with pricing and promoting on socials, scared that a big price will scare off clientele. How can I attract my local clients, but also attract bigger clients? So whether this is, what's Britta, speak to this, whether it's somebody like Emily, who's a portrait photographer, if it's a wedding photographer, like how does somebody go about earning the confidence and finding it in themselves to charge more money? Like you went from $5,000 weddings, which is already a lot of money, to $8,000 weddings, a 60% increase in a year. How do you find the guts to do that?
Well, to start, you can do it. It totally is an attainable goal. I think it goes back to what we were just talking about. Like, what value are you giving to your clients? Because that is like the reason or the case study as to why you can charge more. And so yeah, we've gone through a few examples within the wedding space, but a few others off the top of my head, and Christy can jump in on this. Like one example is like probably the standard within in your case, portrait photography. I would say the turnaround time is like 4 weeks. I don't know, 2 months. I don't even know what it is, but one way you can up your value, up your pricing, and kind of shift the narrative within what you offer is like, hey, I'm going to give you your gallery back within a week or within like 3 days. And so therefore, like your clients are going to be able to see that value and be like, oh my goodness, that's crazy that you can get my images to me within that amount of time. And so that's a tangible way that you can kind of give yourself the permission to up the pricing. Yeah. Chris, you have any other ideas on that one?
No, I think that's so smart. Like
we're bringing Shy into the Q&A.
Just bring your dog when you're going on your sales.
Yes.
What you really want to do, something you need to look out for, and this happens with more people, and it's happening to more people that are listening to this call than not, is sometimes you have red flag pricing. And it's when your pricing is so low and you're actually not converting people at a low price and you're wondering, I could never raise my prices because they're not even taking me up on my current deal. But the thing is that if you look really quality, like let's say Britta, incredible work. Like if you go on Instagram, you're going to be like, wowed, right? Amazing. You're going to be like, this person's amazing.
I made a joke.
How much they are.
I made a joke the other day at Britta. I was like, I feel like Christy and I need to have another wedding just so that Britta can shoot it. Her photos are so good.
Let's say
I'm so down.
Let's say you go, I want to inquire with Britta about my wedding. You go and acquire, Britta sends back a pricing guide that's stunning. It's beautiful. It's got all the bells and whistles. The offer's perfect, everything. And then for some reason, it's $2,000 to $3,000 cheaper than all the other people you reached out to that you actually like their photos less. You are going to wonder, their brain is going to wonder, what am I not getting with Britta? What am I not getting? Why is there a $2,000 gap? Why is there a $200 gap? What am I not going to get with Britta that I'm going to get with these other people? And people actually might be choosing people that are more expensive than you simply because they have red flags going off around your pricing. So that's one thing that I want to say is that pricing is brand. If you've got low prices and you're significantly lower or even just a touch lower than the other people they're probably inquiring with, people will wonder what is wrong with
They
you.
say, what am I missing out on?
What am I missing
if
out
I book
on?
this cheaper
And
person?
vice versa. If Britta sends over a guide that's $2,000 more than the other people, they're going to go, what am I going to get with Britta that I'm not going to get with these other people, right? So pricing really is brand, and there's a lot of other things you can do. I think a lot of it has to do with lead generation. So if you feel like I'm not getting any inquiries and the people that I'm getting right now, it feels like I'm just not converting them, whatever, you need to start generating more leads so your conversion rate can actually sustain the business you want to build.
And anytime your demand goes up, so can your prices, which is a very important thing, right?
So booking this little helpful tool, if you're trying to grow in your pricing and you're in the wedding space or whatever, and you are having around 7 or more people say yes to you right now, you're probably too cheap. So out of 10 inquiries that come in, if you're booking more than 7, I would say raise your prices, and it's time to raise them up. If you are only booking 2 out of 10, you might have red flag pricing. I would try raising your prices and really dial in on how do I make sure that I'm presenting my solutions, and how do I make sure that I'm consistently generating more leads so that my numbers can actually reflect what's healthy for a business. So,
which is super important. Britta, you're amazing. Your answers are so good. So thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're gonna jump on into a brand question here. JD, John, are you still on here? Are you still on here? John, throw it in the chat. John asked the question, I see the importance of high ticket clients, but where and how do you approach these high ticket clients? King's Hat guy from Kitchener Workshop. There's a guy at the Kitchener Workshop we did like a month and a bit ago. Dude, I totally remember you. I remember your King's Hat. That's awesome. John, what's up, bro? I'm going to ask you a question because John, actually, why don't we try this? John, are you in a spot where you could like have video on and stuff? Because I think I might be able to bring you up and answer this live. I don't know if I can. If you say yes, I'm going to try this, and we'll try and answer your. Sure. Okay. Let's see if this works. John, did you just get? Well, I think that might have prompted him.
No, I think it's just going to answer it live. Yeah. Let me pull them up.
Okay. So, John, here's my question for you. When you say where and how do you approach? What do you mean approach? Are you mean pitching? Are you meaning selling in the sales process? What about this process do you feel like you're struggling with? And then we can get into it a little bit deeper.
All right, Johnny. Think he's coming up?
Is he coming out? Here he is. 3, 2, 1. Oh.
Hey.
What's up, John? There he is.
John?
How's it going?
It's going, man. He's got the King's hat on again. I love it, dude. I love you said the King's hat. I'm like, oh, I know exactly who that is. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. I knew I had to wear it. I thought there might be video involved, so
let's go.
There you go. I love it. Dude, talk to me a little bit more about your question. What's behind your question?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I just saw myself. I'm like super over. I'm using a crappy webcam right now, so I apologize.
You look great. You look great.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, hearing Daygin, like specifically, I know he's in the brand space, kind of stress the importance of high ticket clients, and then obviously you guys in a lot of your content, like ongoing, stress the same importance. So I'm just wondering, what's the best way? Like, I'm in Peterborough, Ontario. It's not like the biggest market, but there is like a lot of local business, but like sometimes they don't have the same kind of the same capital to like work with and spend on like videographers and whatnot. So I'm just kind of wondering if there's a strategy almost to kind of get in the door and get seen by more high ticket clients.
Yeah, totally. So a couple things. Number one, pitching is going to be your friend, and don't feel like you have to be limited to pitching kind of like the Kawartha, Peterborough area. I grew up just north of Barrie, Ontario, and I had so many of my clients are actually US clients, but I had a lot of clients in the GTA. And what I would do is I would take a couple of days out of my month and I would drive on down there and I would shoot for clients in there. So don't think that you are removed from those markets because you live in Peterborough. There's also aspects about things about Peterborough that people would be like, oh, that area is awesome, and maybe provide something that our area, maybe being like downtown Toronto, we don't have. So we need to hire someone like John. So where I'm getting with this is that pitching is going to be your friend. And I would focus, if you want high ticket clients, that's a broad term. The easiest high ticket clients to get are B2B businesses selling to other businesses. So great example of this. Some of my favorite clients were businesses like logistical companies, promotional companies that were in the GTA. So example, like I would drive down to Toronto area and I would meet with this business that literally does millions a month, like 2 or 3 million a month, I think, massive business. And they're a promotional company. All they do is put logos on hats, logos on cups, logos on water bottles. Like they make promotional products, and massive companies come to them and say, we need to order 3,000 water bottles with a logo on it. And so they're a B2B company. They're selling business to other businesses. And so when I pitch them on like, hey, I want to do a headlining film for you guys probably need more of a like, this is who we are. This is how we solve problems for our clients. This is, the type of people we work with. Here's what our process looks like. Let's take all those things and put that into a really good 90-second video, and let's put it on your website. Let's make sure it's sitting in the bottom of your email footers and signatures so that your whole sales team is sending it out all the time. This is going to help you get more business. Oh, by the way, it's $11,500, $12,000 for like a one-day shoot and then like a 90-second video. But a company like this who's making a couple million a month, they go, man, if we had a really good video in the bottom of our sales guys' emails, like we'd probably convert, even if we convert one person every 3 months, like it's easily going to pay for whatever we pay for this video. So point is, you want to go after clients, as we talked about earlier, that are high ticket, and if you can, high volume. Or they could be low ticket, but they've got to be incredibly high volume. So example, like maybe they sell socks, low ticket, not expensive, but it better be a massive sock company. And I don't mean massive as in like everyone knows it. Maybe they're the manufacturer behind a lot of the brands that people know. So they're making a killing. So like high volume doesn't always mean like, oh, you have to work with like the most name brand, global brands we all know of. High volume, there are so many high ticket and high volume businesses right underneath our noses that are all over the towns that we all live in. And we just don't think about it because we're not thinking about it. So pitching is going to be your friend. I want you to pitch things that these companies really need. So they need help increasing their conversions for sales. So they need videos that help their sales team. They need testimonial videos. You can sell a testimonial video package with photos, a testimonial video, and a couple like reels from the testimonial video. That's an easy $3,500 to $6,000 video package. Like you could get somebody on retainer to sell that every quarter you come in. So that client's worth 24 grand to you if you're selling it for 5 or 6 grand a year, right? Or 5 or 6 grand a quarter. Like, so that's how I go after high ticket businesses, especially in the low hanging fruit stuff. It's all B2B. Okay. Now, if you're wanting to get into like stuff that's B2C, like direct to consumer stuff or business to consumer stuff, more like products that we'd all be wearing, hats, clothes, things that we all like, products. How you get involved with them is you're probably going to have to show proof of work. I would probably go, what are the companies that I really want to work with? And how do I give myself 20% of my month over the next 30 days? And how do I do free work for them? A lot of people are like, don't do free work. People won't value you. I'm like, no, that's a bunch of baloney. Do free work and be like, hey, I don't do free work, but I'm going to do this for free for you guys because I'm so confident in how doing this for you on an ongoing basis would provide you a lot of value. And so I'm not going to sit here and assume that you have to see the value. I'm just going to show it to you. And if it's valuable to you, let's have a conversation about it, right? So you're not doing like a massive amount of free work for people, but take 20% of your month, split it up into a couple companies if you can, and do smaller things for them, but small things that are really valuable and really showcase the proof that your work, when they hire you or work with you, having you around is very impactful. Okay, because this is the goal for you, John. You want to become someone when they look at you and your business, they go, that is a growth partner. Daygin talked about that. He is a growth partner. Every company that works with Daygin now, they go, wow, like when we have Daygin in on projects, when we have him in our office, when we have him on calls, just being around Daygin, not even just his photos and his videos, being around him, he's a growth partner. He's got great ideas. He delivers quickly. He has great communication. He never misses a deadline. Like, be that type of person and just do some free work and let people see that. And I think you'll have a good time getting some balls rolling on that. Anything I missed? Anything come up from that I can answer real quick follow up?
No, that was super in depth. That was awesome. Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
Hey, great to see you again, man. I'm glad you're on here. And
Oh, great to see the hat
yeah,
again.
go King.
I appreciate
Love
it.
it.
Thanks
Good to
for
see you, man. Great question.
Good to see you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Bye.
I'm gonna answer a couple quick, just spitfire, like rapid fire mastermind questions that I've gotten a lot in the Q&A and some in the chat. If you're just starting out, is this a good fit for you? Absolutely. We have people join that are literally don't even have a business yet. They just have an idea.
Taylor pretty much didn't have a business.
Didn't have a business when she first got started. Again, created a 6-figure business within months. We have people that are just starting. We have people that feel like they've been stuck at like literally 0 to 20K per year for years being this. We have people who like don't have a website. They don't have anything like that, but they have an idea. And that's actually a great place for someone to start because they don't have to break a bunch of bad habits. They don't have to like rebrand everything. Everything's starting from scratch and is starting in a really good way. And they're not having to like bump up old pricing of old clients, et cetera, et cetera. So we've got people that are already making 6 figures join the mastermind. We have people that start at 0. And it's actually like really weird and really cool how that community, it feels like
that mix is special
playing ground. It's just like everyone's voice is like so respected in this. So if you're just getting started, don't count yourself out. We will tell you, we genuinely will tell you if it's not the right fit for you, but we have plenty of people who are just getting started. And if you've got like the drive and the motivation and the work to be able to do it, then we will absolutely consider having you be a part of it. I got another question. Do you guys teach paid ads in the mastermind? Yes, we do. We believe paid ads, we're not saying everyone has to run paid ads to be successful. That's not true at all, but we do teach it because it is a really great way to fast track some audience acquisition. Yeah. And we believe it's really important. I run paid ads for my own creative business.
Wedding, couple shoots.
Ads for lots of different things. So we're very, very well versed in the ad. We also update it every year. You're not getting an ad how-to from like 3 years ago because
it wouldn't be helpful.
So we do a lot of like live stuff with that. And yes, we will teach you to run paid ads if that is what you would like to do. It's especially helpful when we're helping people build out social funnels, similar to like what Rebecca did. Super hugely important. And then some people are like, hey, like I'm a mom, I'm a parent, or I've got a 9 to 5. Like, is this okay if I do something like this? Would I be like the only person, not like a full-time person? No, you wouldn't. There are people that are trying to exit 9 to 5s or side hustles to do full-time in what they're doing. And again, we've really done this for the busy business owner. So we actually just released a podcast yesterday with Amber.
Shout out Amber
from Amber Moon Photography. She is a mom. She's on this call, I think, and she is like mom, everything, and she is absolutely crushing in her business. Yeah, and she is awesome. So
there she is. What's up, Amber? Yeah, that episode's great, guys. If you want to be inspired, go listen to the podcast we dropped this morning.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it's crazy. No, yesterday.
Yesterday.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a question in the chat. What percentage of people made their investment back into the mastermind? That's a popular question. I'm going to answer that question, but I'm first going to tell you why I think it's the wrong question. So this is the wrong question. And I say this respectfully because if you're looking at opportunity to grow your business and you're asking, how is this going to go wrong? Rather than, how is this going to go right? What is possible for my business? What's the average that people make? Ask an opportunity-based question rather than like asking like how many people like don't make their investment back? It kind of shows how you're thinking. And so I say that very respectfully, but whether you do the mastermind, whether you do something else, whether you are investing in anything, you always want to go into investments looking at it from an opportunistic perspective of like, if this went well, what could this look like for me? So now I'll answer your question on how many people don't make their investment back. From my knowledge, in 6 years, 384 grads, I don't know of a single person that has not made their investment back. And here's why. This is not something that is public access. We don't give this to everybody. Yeah. We turn down a lot of people that are just not either ready for it or it's not the right fit for them. And because we're very selective about who comes into this, because there is a type of business owner, a type of creative that we know this is built for. And we really want to make sure that we're packing that room with 35 people that are really ready for this. Because of that, we don't end up working with people that are flaky or aren't really too serious about it or thought it might have been a good idea, but then don't do it. Like when we start 6 weeks and we start week 1 with 35 businesses, we end week 6 with 35 businesses. We don't have drop off. People don't drop off and we don't ever see them again. Like this is why it's so interesting. It's a very interesting and like unique ecosystem, because a lot of stuff that people learn, a lot of the methodology people use to learn things online, it's like, oh, just go buy this course and you buy it and it sits in your email inbox and you never go through it.
Yeah.
That is the opposite of what this is.
Of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the opposite of what this is. So from my knowledge, in 6 years, we've never had a single person not make their money back, which is really cool. We're really proud of that. And that's one of the reasons why we continue to keep it 35 businesses only, because we want to keep getting results like that. That is way more important to us than having an extra 40 people in it.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams, NYC. Kyle, if you were here, let us know. You asked, how do I go about finding new clients that you want to work with and that you have content to attract them with? I feel like cold DMs are hit and miss. Tagging and interacting seems like a foundational move. As example, my team would love to work with Amen. What a social funnel would look like to lock them in as a client. Thanks for everything, the GOAT Creative team. Hey, man, we appreciate you. Thanks for being here. You are here, which is really great. So Kyle, my answer on that would be, how do you get in front of a client you want to work with? Well, there's a lot of opportunity to do that. There's a lot of different things you can do. And that's my answer right there. You have to do a bunch of different things. So here's one of the biggest ways to never work with a dream client: sending them one pitch in one place and wondering why you haven't heard back. If you only are messaging somebody on Instagram and you don't also cross pitch on email, you don't cross pitch on LinkedIn, you don't cross pitch by posting something on your stories and tagging them, you're not in their DMs, you're not commenting on this is one of the easiest ways to get in people's hair that you want to pitch. Turn on their post notifications. Every time they pitch, try and get a notification about it. Be one of the first people to comment, one of the first people to like, one of the first people to send it to a friend or post it on your story. Like, that stuff goes a long way, because here's the goal. This is called 10 centing. It's the idea of giving your 2 cents 5 times a week. This is something we've talked about for 6 years. It's a foundational piece of things that we teach in the mastermind. You want to always 10-cent clients, because you never want to pitch a client before you hopefully know that there's an earshot, they know who you are. Because people don't work with people. It's like, oh, Christy, we need to hire a creative for this new clothing line we're going to drop next year if we worked and owned a clothing company. Why don't we go search Instagram and find somebody? That's not how it works. It works like you're all sitting in a room and you go, who do we know?
Yeah.
So you want to use social media, use pitching, use emailing, use your stories, use showing up in person, use all of these things in a mix to go, how do I become somebody they know? Your goal with a brand should be, how do I become known by them before how do I get hired by them? Way before you try and get hired, you should be trying to become known, okay? Daygin does a great job of this. Here's something that, it kind of goes back to the pattern breaker thing I said earlier, but like, what's something you can do that would just go like, whoa, who's this dude? You know, like maybe, I don't know what Amen is, so I can't give you
It's a really fancy hotels line.
Oh, okay, cool.
In Utah and stuff.
Okay, cool. So if that's what it is, what I would do is I would probably go to a hotel, and if you're not staying, like you could try a couple of different things. Go to a trashy hotel in your neighborhood, in your area, and I would walk in the parking lot, and I would send them a video that says, hey, I'm just walking through this parking lot, and it just reminded me of how much nicer your hotel line is than something like this. Oh, and by the way, here's an idea I have for your hotel line. Thought I'd slide it past you. I'm going to share 30 seconds with you. And if anything at all is interesting, I want you to just reply back to this video via DM. Just write yes, and I'll take the conversation from there. Okay, so 2 things I did, or 3 things. 1, pattern breaker. I pitched it via video, and it was interesting because I started in some ugly hotel parking lot and used that as a reference to talk about how beautiful their things are. Number 2, I encouraged them, told them about how much I love their hotel line. Number 3, I shared an idea. There's actually a 4th thing I did. Number 4 is I gave them a low commitment CTA. So pitching somebody who's cold and saying, hey, book a call with me, jump on the phone with me. We should have a coffee meeting. Can you meet for coffee? The odds of that are so low. There's no reason to. They don't know you. Low commitment CTAs are things like this. Hey, if any of this is even remotely interesting to you, respond yes to me, and I'll start, I'll keep the conversation going. What you're trying to do is you're trying to have somebody look at this and go, I don't really know this dude, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of interesting. Yes. Put the phone down and they leave. And then you get one more opportunity, a little bit of a deeper opportunity to get in their hair and start messaging them a little bit more. So that's kind of how I would approach, like, how do you approach brands that you want to work with that you have no connection to, is you've got to get How do I think outside the box? How do I hit them in many places? And how do I become known to them before I become paid by them? That's my answer.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helps.
So good. I love that, Daygin, how do you come up in the boardroom conversation? I think there's a bunch of different ways to come up in the boardroom conversation. I think it can be a short game and it can be a long game. Like I'll give you just personal story. I worked with Anthropologie's wedding line. It was called Beholden. Now it's called Anthropologie Weddings. And they were like, I had written a list when I had just started my photography business, and I was like listing off all the things that I wanted to do. And I thought they were all like total moonshot, completely unrealistic goals. And I remember one of the goals that I wrote down was work with this Anthropologie Weddings. Like, I want to work with Beholden. And I had just written that down and then was just shooting weddings, was not a brand photographer or anything like that. And anytime I was at a wedding, I actually was doing this unknowingly. And since then, we've just developed this idea of how to like connect with brands in a not pitchy way. And every wedding I shot, anytime there was a Beholden dress, I was all over my Instagram feed about it. I literally was like posting stories about it. I made sure to tag them in every single post I was doing that had Beholden dresses in them. I would literally send them my galleries and just be like, here, feel free to use any of this if you want, right? Anytime. And then it was like, slowly we started building a relationship. It was like, they would like my message and then they would send, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Or then they would ask when I would tag them in a wedding, can you send us this gallery? And while a lot of people would be like, no, they need to pay me for my images, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, sure, here you go. And I got so excited. And then one day I literally woke up to a message from them being like, hey, we would love to have you shoot a campaign for us. I like freaked out. I was so excited to then be disappointed when a week later, the marketing director that sent me that message went on maternity leave, and I followed up with them because, again, follow-ups are where the deals are. I followed up with them and said, hey, about that campaign, like, let's get something rolling. And they were like, oh, sorry, she went on maternity leave, but would you mind doing like a giveaway with us, like a free giveaway? And I was so disappointed. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, I thought I was so close, and now I've got this other girl who just wants me to do a giveaway. And so ended up doing this giveaway thing, said, absolutely, I would love to. Gave away an entirely free couple shoot to them for like this giveaway thing. I got nothing for it, like literally nothing for it. But I was like, let's do it. Let's build the relationship. And it ended up that marketing director came back from maternity leave. The team loved the giveaway. They were so appreciative of it. And then I went on to probably do like later that year, I think I did like 4 to 5 different trips with them where I was shooting like new lines of campaigns for them with these incredible influencers all over the US. It was like the sickest opportunity ever. I ended up more than anything got to do what I wanted to do with them, but I would have never gotten that if I had not given, and just like literally didn't even ask for anything, but just gave. And I remember when we were sitting there on a phone call for the first real campaign, and I remember I was talking to one of the marketing people, and she was like, oh yeah, because I think I asked, like, how did you guys find me? Like, or like, how did this come apart that I would be a part of this campaign? And she literally said, we were all sitting around a boardroom going, we have this shoot we need to do in Napa. Who do we know? And one of the girls was like, this girl, Christy, always tags us and I love her work and it's awesome. We should have her come and do it. And they literally said the boardroom conversation. So it can be a long game of give. But if you're in this business for the long haul,
it's gonna be a long game.
Like it's
gonna be a long game. Yeah.
So I think like one way to do it as well is how do you go where people aren't? So like oftentimes everyone's just DMing on Instagram and maybe they've got a ton of followers and they're probably getting pitched every single day. Is anybody pitching them on LinkedIn? Like, is anybody pitching them? And maybe they have a YouTube channel they're trying to bump up and have
go comment on their YouTube.
Stuff that they're trying to make successful for themselves. Like, I think realizing like it's all, and Daygin, you know this, it's all people behind the company name. It's all people. And so trying to find those people and go, how do I connect with those people? And how do I actually make their jobs easier? And how do I make them look good to their bosses? That's like the biggest thing. So someone will always have that like role of reciprocity when you're like, oh, I commented on the new YouTube video that they're really trying to push right now. That person's going to go, thank goodness that person just commented because it's going to make me look like this was a smart idea to my boss. Right.
Yeah. So good.
Think it's just
I love that. I cannot tell you how many of the deals that I've ever gotten in my life and the most name brand ones, the ones that I'm like the most proud to put on my site or like share with you guys, they're all from 10 centing, doing what Christy's talking about, giving free value, just constantly being in their ecosystem, and eventually my name comes up. And so that's some good encouragement for you guys. That's really great. Claire and Sam, I'll answer your question about the actual like average that people make. So here's the most relevant statistic I can give you. So every single mastermind, we track the like to the dollar sales for that they make inside of the 6 weeks. And it's a really fun thing. We call it the ring the bell process. So anytime anybody gets a win, what they do is they go into our community or they go into our Instagram group chat and they say, hey, ring the bell. They put the little bell emoji. They say, ringing the bell. I just got this $5,000 wedding booking or something. And then what I make them do, what Christy and I make them do is write something that helped you get the deal. So then they'll say something like, you know, I redid my site last week and this client mentioned they really liked this part of something I wrote in my bio or something like that. So ring the bell. How much money do you make? And then what's something that helped you get the job? So what's cool is not only do we get to celebrate that win, but we also then get to learn from it. And everyone gets to learn from what helped that person win. So because we have that system, we track every single win. And the highest round we've ever had in the mastermind in 6 weeks, 35 businesses made $422,000 tracked. All tracked wins. I can show you the screenshots, how we keep track of it all. Last round, they were so close. They were $4,000 off. They made like $418,000. So if you do the math on that and you break that down, just to give you very relevant data. So $418,000 is what last round 13 made. 35 businesses. There's actually 36 because we had a team. So 36 businesses. That's $11,611 per person. Now, does it break down perfectly evenly like that? No, it never will. That's never how math works. But you can see that's kind of where these averages come from. And you can assume then, you know, what this actually looks like in terms of an ROI for each and every single person. Some people are much higher than that. Some people are a little bit lower than that. But yes, everyone is working towards making their investment back, and pretty much everyone does within the 6 weeks for sure. So anyways, that's my answer on that. But jumping over to another question in here. Do you need a website fully established to start? This from Hook and Anvil. No, you don't. You don't need a website. You need an offer. You need an ideal client, and you need the willingness to go out and try and get in front of them and pitch them that offer. So that's all you need to get started. Okay. Now, does the website help? Absolutely. Anytime someone is being told something or pitch something, it's great for them to see more information. That's really what a website is. A website is the last line of defense. It's for someone to go, hey, I'm interested. I would love to see more about you or learn more about the photo and video packages you can provide me or the wedding packages. I'm going to go to your website and look at that. Now, you don't need a website. Is it something that everybody should have? Yes. So you don't need it to start, but you definitely should work towards it if you're doing that.
Yeah. I was going to mention one more thing about the Claire and Sam question too.
Yeah.
Like, oh, like this and this, like who makes what, whatever. I think it's also really important to know, like, people that do the work get results. So
yeah,
it really is like, there are some people who jump into the mastermind who learn and they act slower than the rest of the people. They're obviously going to get slower results. Like it's putting coins in, getting coins out, right? Like that is what business is. You put in the implementation, you put in the strategies, you put in the effort, and you get results. That is what it is. When people are slower to do those things, they have slower results. That's just life. That's life. That's business. It's always going to be that way. The people who act quickly, and that's why we literally answered in the frequent asked questions page, like who gets the most? It's people who act fast. Done is better than perfect.
Yeah.
They actually really go for it. And those are the people that see the results. So it's not of like, oh, like we don't run your business for you. Like we will never take responsibility for like, we're running your business, we're giving you a 6-figure business. That's just not how it works. And we'll never claim that we do that.
And we'll also never claim when someone makes like a multi-6-figure business. We'll never sit here and go, oh, that was all us. It was like, no, you did the work.
I built Daygin's business.
Yeah, no, Daygin built his business.
Daygin took the systems, put it into practice, and worked his tail off to get his results. And so everyone's going to have to work to get their results.
Yeah.
It's proven the systems we've done, because we've done this 13 times.
Well, we've done it for ourselves over the last decade.
Done it for ourselves, done it 13 times. And the results come from implementing the systems.
Yeah,
if you don't
hard work
systems, then you obviously won't get results. So I just wanted to touch on that for a second, because it's not like, I think sometimes people think these things are like little magical wands, but they're not. They're hard work, but it's implementing proven systems that actually cause results.
Really what it is, guys, is that you can work really, really hard, pushing a rock uphill for years in the wrong direction and wonder why you're not making progress.
Yeah.
Now, the other side of that is people that grow really quick. It's not there's some like loophole or there's some shortcut that nobody else knows about. It's just that they're working on the right things and applying their hard work to those. So very clearly, if you pulled back the hood on our businesses versus some businesses of somebody else, and who might not be doing, and their business might not be growing at the rate our businesses are growing at. If you pulled the hoods back on those and looked at what's underneath the hood, we're probably working on different things. We both might be working just as hard, but we might be working on something different, which is why we're getting more progress, or vice versa. Like Daygin might be working on different things than somebody else here in this chat that's trying to grow in the brand space and pitch brands and is struggling with it a little bit. You're both working hard, but he's working hard on the right things. And that's exactly what growing a business is about. And that's why the mastermind exists. We're giving you 6 weeks, the 6 pillars to show you exactly what you should be working hard on. And the people that work really hard on that, that's how you get some really good results. So
appreciate the question.
Yeah, it's a great question.
Please ask those questions because we want to give you really solid answers.
Yeah, and no questions off the table like that.
Fine if you're like, this isn't something I feel like I want to do, and that's
totally
fine. Like, totally fine.
Yeah. This is a question from Will. It seems that long-term partnerships are the goal, but how do you break into these partnerships? They seem harder, especially if that client already has an existing freelancer or go-to relationship. So I'm going to answer the first question. How do you break into long-term partnerships? The answer is super simple. You cannot work on retainer with a client for a job, service, or solving a problem the client doesn't have that's recurring. So what I mean by that is you can't sell headshots on retainer to most clients because clients don't need new headshots every month. They might need new headshots every year, or the business might need new headshots every 6 months when they hire new employees, get them onboarded, and then every 6 months they shoot headshots of the new employees. But like, point is, recurring relationships, retainers, recurring work comes from solving recurring problems. So when you're going to pitch a retainer, you want a long-term relationship, you need to be looking at the client and go, what is, due to the nature of this client's business, what is something that happens every single month or every single quarter that when the quarter resets, when the month resets, they have that problem again? So a great example of this is a lot of direct-to-consumer product brands that sell products. Example, let's say like DJI, okay, I have these little mics right here. Every single month, when the month rolls over from the 31st to the 30th to the 1st of the next month, they now need an entirely new content plan, 31 days or 30 days of new content for that next month. Every month that resets, they need new content. And that's just due to the nature that they grow their business and they make money by selling products, physical products to people, and they grow their audience, they grow their leads through the internet, right? And so point is, they're a good ideal client. Now, not necessarily maybe the scale or whatever of DJI, because they've got big teams. But my point is, I'm trying to say is like, they have a problem that when the calendar resets, they need a brand new content calendar. So that is a good example of a business model that has recurring problems, okay? So same thing with like, let's take a car company, okay? Some of our favorite grads, we just did a podcast with them a couple weeks ago as well. The Bird Boys, they're from Dreambird Media, Alex and Bailey, they're from Canada. And we sat down and had a podcast with them I think 3 or 4 weeks ago. It's a great podcast. If you want to listen to a podcast about growing a video agency, these guys are awesome, best friends, started a business together. They're doing really well. But one of the things that they do is they have clients on retainer for testimonial videos. And they get these clients that are like car companies or other companies. And what they do is they set up this thing where like every month, depending on the size of the business, every month or every quarter, they will show up and they will shoot a new testimonial video of one or multiple of your clients. They'll shoot photos of that client engaging with the product that they make. And they'll also shoot a bunch of reels to come off of that to use all over social. And so what the client ends up with every single month is like a new testimonial story showcasing how their business is helping their clients. And Alex and Bailey sell these to clients and get them on retainer, and they'll do like 6 of these a year, or they'll do 12 of them a year for these clients. And every single one of these that they're doing is priced between like $3,000 and $6,000. So that's another good example of like a good recurring problem. These businesses are selling products to people and they need to tell the stories of the transformation and tell the stories of the joy or the satisfaction that these customers are experiencing with their products. And so it's a great recurring offer is selling testimonial packages, selling testimonial offers. So that's really my answer to take something long and make it short. Again, you need to be focusing on offers that are solving problems or giving really good solutions to recurring problems. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the offer on that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's helpful. Will, I don't know if you're still here.
Paige said
the company name, Amy, just real quick, the company name for these guys, if you're wondering, if you're talking about the Bird Boys, I was just talking about Dreambird Media. If you want to look them up, they're great. Awesome guys. They do really good work.
Yeah. So I like Sage's question. Maybe we'll take 1 or 2 more questions.
Yeah.
Sage said, how do I find wedding clients where my social following is so small? I only have like 200 on Instagram. First of all, totally understand that.
Really resonate with that. Yeah.
It can be hard to feel like you're starting from scratch. However, that's where everyone starts. So I think 1, knowing that that's okay and that it is possible for you. So one thing that I would do, focus on ways to get bookings because really what this is getting at is how do I get clients no matter how I get them, right? Like how do I get clients through the door? I would focus on things that maybe require no reach. So I would focus on how do I build up a strategic referral system with someone in my area who has similar ideal clients.
Cover that again too, just real quick. You
So,
talked about it earlier on this workshop, but describe this one more time real quick, because this is really smart, guys.
Totally. So when you're looking to get referrals, it's hard to sit back and just wait and hope someone refers you based off of just goodwill. You want to incentivize them more. If you incentivize people, they'll do things faster and more frequently. So this is why we set up strategic referral systems. So I have referral systems like this where I'm sending people bookings, and if they book, they'll give me a kickback. And that's basically the partnership you set up with somebody, but you'd be on the reverse side. So, hey, if I have a partnership set up with, X photographer in town who has similar ideal clients, you reach out to them, and here's the key. You don't just say, hey, can you please send me bookings and I'll pay you. You say, hey, I know that you probably worked super hard to build a brand that attracts your ideal client. Seems like we have similar ideal clients. I'm a photographer getting started in the area and would absolutely love to shoot more and give my clients an awesome experience. Here's maybe a couple galleries or examples of work that I do so that you can confidently refer me. I think you should get paid for the no's that you have to say. I'm sure you're super booked out, you're super busy. You probably get people every single day messaging you, asking you to shoot their wedding when they're unavailable. I would love to be able to pay you for those no's. If you send me if you send me a referral and they ended up booking me, I will give you 10% of my package, or I will send you $500 or whatever it is. You might be going $500, but it's $500 you wouldn't have had before. So it's a really great fee. If you think about even the time it took for that person, the time and energy and money to acquire that client, $500 drop in the bucket for you to maybe get like a $5,000 deal off of this, right? So figuring out a way to set up strategic referral partnerships with maybe multiple photographers in your area and going, how do I connect with these people so that I can instantly start getting bookings? Because that person's going to go, wait, I totally want to send people that person's way because I'm going to make money if I do, right? That's a big deal. So that would be honestly the number one first little thing I would say for if you feel like, my Instagram's not getting very much reach. I would definitely say building a strategic referral partnership would be a really, really good first step.
That's great.
Step.
Let's wrap up with this question. I think this is a great question. I'm going to throw this on the screen, guys, one more time for anyone that wants the prompt for that. If you're interested in 6-week Creativ Rise Mastermind, we'd love to see your application. DM us round 14 on Instagram. We'll get you over all the information. And you're also then going to be able to get access to all the bonuses, which are right here, which is cool. $100 off and also $1,000 of bonus courses, which is awesome. So great value that ends in a couple days. So make sure you take advantage of that. But I'm going to answer this question from Erica. This is a great question to end on. Erica asked the question of how do you respond to rebuttals for your work value? So whether you're in the wedding industry, you're in the design industry, you're in the brand industry, what I'm about to say is gonna give you an answer for any industry. Okay, what do you do when someone says, I don't know if I see the value in that work, or we want to find somebody cheaper, you're too expensive? This is what you do. We literally had this happen this past week, okay? So I got so many examples of this, but this past week, we just booked a client for a $15,000 photo campaign, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be like 30 images. We're going to be updating. We've worked for them previously, but we're going to be updating with like a couple clips, a rolling header video for the top of their website, which is awesome. So just shooting some like B-roll video stuff during the day of the products and of the models and stuff. I'm going to be updating that. So they've got a looping header video. Going to be shooting, I think I said like 15 or 20 like colored cut clips and giving them to them in a library so they can use them for their paid ads and test a bunch of them. So awesome offer, $15,000. We're putting together the whole shoot, doing all the producing, everything, hiring, sourcing models, locations, permits, all that stuff. And at first, when we were talking to this client, they were like, hey, like, you know, what would the pricing look like? And so I said, hey, let's jump on a call. We figured out, you know, what they're actually looking for. And then after the call, we said, hey, we're going to get you like some like hard, like actual numbers and some stuff for you to look at. We obviously talked about numbers on the call. You never want to shy away from pricing. If someone asks you pricing, you never want to say, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. So I gave them like, hey, it's probably going to be this range, but I'll send you over some like visual options once we get off this call with some ideas and stuff. And they ended up writing back saying, hey, you know what? I just think you're probably going to be too expensive. Like, don't even worry about sending over options. We're probably going to have to do something cheaper. And so I was thinking, man, like that's too bad. Like we were really looking forward to working with this client and what we're going to do for them, they really need. So I just shot a message back and I said, hey, just so you know what you're looking like up against, you know, just so you know like what the options are, why don't I still give you a quote? Tell me what you're wanting to spend, and I'll still give you a quote on what we'd probably do. Just so you know. You don't have to hire us, but just so you know, that way you can compare it to whatever you're going to do with somebody cheaper. And they wrote back, hey, yeah, that's fine. Great. Let's do it. So I then wrote back and gave two options. One option was the exact budget they told me they wanted to spend, and one option was $5,000 more. And they ended up going with the $5,000 more option. Now, how does that work? How do you get someone to raise their budget by over 50% and end up paying you what you pitched, the highest version of that? When it's how you structure what is in the offer and how you talk about it, which is how I'm going to get to the answer, which is now long version to get to the answer, but of what Erica's asking. How do you respond to rebuttals or people questioning if working with you is going to be worth it? So here's a couple of things, Erica. You need to make sure that you are not pricing what you are doing based off your time. Okay. If you're leading with your time, oh, it's going to be 3 shoot days. It's going to be a half day rate of this, a half day rate of that. If you come in $2,000 more expensive than somebody else who's also pricing on that same model, then you guys look the exact same. Why would they pay you $2,000 more? You need to price your work based off the value, and you need to center your offer off the value you're delivering, not off of the time. So example, if a client comes to me and says something like, hey, I've got another example for it with you. We signed a deal. We did, it's actually this right here. I'm going to scroll all the way back to it. You guys ready for this? We're going to go all the way back through this. This deal right here, I'm going to give you a literal visual example. This deal that was $50,996 almost didn't close. I almost didn't get that job. And the reason why is because they came back to me and said, hey, it's too expensive. We actually want to spend less money. We don't have 50 grand, or we don't want to spend 50 grand. And they said, we think we can find it for cheaper. And so my response was, great. If you can find the same thing that we're doing with the same delivery time, you're going to get a super quick turnaround. They've got proven track record, proven work, and they've got a process that you know is going to de-risk this for you, because it's really important that this work gets done quickly.
Right, the first time.
And you also like those people. If you like them, they can get it done on time, and they've got a proven track record. You know there's no risk in it. Then don't hire me. Like, of course, hire the cheaper option. That makes way more sense. And in saying that, well, he goes, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to hit the deadline. That's one of the things we're trying to still figure out with them. And I'm going, well, that's the price that you're going to have to pay. I can promise you. And I said his name. I said, I can promise you, if you pay us this, here's the timeline. Here's exactly when we're going to be working on it. Here's who's going to be working on this deal with you. And here's our process. And I can guarantee you that we will have this done and delivered to you by this date. And because of that, they ended up coming back to me and saying, you know what? There's too much risk in the other cheaper option. We need to hire you, because we're not willing to take the risk on this not working out right the first time. And then it sets us back another month or two. It's going to cost us way more than the, I don't know, probably 10 or 15 grand that I was more expensive. It's going to cost them way more than that if they don't actually get what they need. So that's a really important thing about how do you How do you clap back at people saying that your work's too expensive? You don't have to defend it, okay? Don't defend it. Just ask them a question, something along the lines of like, hey, that's no problem. Just want to make sure that if you do find a cheaper option, are you sure that you're going to be getting everything you want? And if the answer to that is yes, then you should probably take the more cheap option. Make a business decision. It's more cost effective. That's a good decision. But if the answer is no, it's not the same quality, it's not going to get you the same ROI, it doesn't have the same turnaround time, they don't have a proven track record with lots of proof of work and examples of other clients they've done this for that are similar to you, they're not showing you their process that is going to be like, here's step 1, 2, 3, 4, so you know exactly what's going to be going on. There's clear communication. If they don't have those things, then is it really cheaper, or is it going to cost you more money because you're going to have to come back to us a month later and hire us to do it because the first cheap option didn't work out? So the more you can learn how to defend your value, not from a like defensive and you get all, I'm worth it. Trust me, I'm worth it. Don't get like that. Just simply get curious. Hey, yeah, if you can get the same stuff and you can get all these things, because here's what I'm promising you we're going to do, or here's what's included with us. This is great. If you're in the wedding industry too, oh yeah, that person's wedding package is $2,000 cheaper. Well, that's great. If they do all the same stuff I do, then you should probably pick them. Do they do pre-wedding discovery calls? Do they mood board your wedding? Do they create a shot list and send it over to you to get approved? Do they run the family photo session and take over and make sure that it all happens? Do they stay this long? Do they deliver within 7 days or 14 days rather than 6 or 8 weeks? Like, you start asking all these questions, and 9 out of 10 times people are going to come back to you and say, wow, no, they're not doing all those things. And then you say, well, then what's more important to you? Spending $2,000 more on this wedding package or missing out on a lot of that value? And time again, most of the time people come back and say, you know what? We didn't think we were going to spend this much money, but you're right. These things are more important to us than an extra $2,000. Can we work with you? So that is my answer. We'll wrap up on that, guys. Hopefully that's a good answer for us to wrap up on. Here's what I want you to do. Throw in the chat. Was that valuable? You guys love Q&A? Throw it in the chat. Was that good?
Q&A.
Was that a good one to go out on? Hopefully that was a good answer to go out on.
It's been a fun 3 hours.
It's been an amazing 3 hours. We want to say
always end up being so much longer than anticipated, and we love that.
It's a good thing. Yeah,
you guys are here till the very end because that means you really value growing your creative business, and we value that for you.
Yeah,
and we think it's so fun to jam on this stuff. And absolutely, Christy, the 3 hours flew by. Like it definitely did.
That's crazy. We're about to go get some pizza because that's our tradition after we do these live workshops. We go to get some pizza because we love pizza. So whatever you're going to tonight or tomorrow, because I know some of you guys today, because some of you guys are in Australia, New Zealand, or Europe, and the sun is up. Whatever you're doing, we want to say a big thank you for being here. We want to thank our guest experts. Huge thanks to Daygin, Taylor, and Britta. You guys are legends. Thanks for coming on and helping out and just sharing awesome value. We're so proud of you guys. And we also just want to leave you guys with an encouragement that you can get paid to do what you love. Whether you jump into the mastermind and we help you fast track that, like hard work in the right direction on the right things, do the things that we talked about tonight, you will be able to get paid to do what you love, right? We can totally help you do that faster, but point is you can do it. We want to be living testimonies of that in our own businesses, the businesses we showed you tonight. You can do amazing things as a solo creator, a self-employed creator, as someone who freelances, someone who works for themselves, a camera, a computer, an iPhone, whatever tools you use. If you learn how to use those really well and you follow some of the things we talked about tonight and you just work hard and stick with it, you can do some pretty incredible things. So we want to leave you with that and cheer for you.
Huge shout out to Britta, Daygin, and Taylor. You guys crushed that. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you guys for all coming and being so engaged and being so positive, and just, it's been so fun. So
and also great to see everybody that's either in the grad community, Kai. John, everybody, Amber, all the mastermind grads, everyone that's been on, just hanging out in the chat. Great to see you guys again. We love you guys, miss you guys. And guys, we'll be catching you guys soon. Hopefully you guys are subscribed to the podcast. Make sure you go find the Creativ Rise podcast everywhere you can listen to podcasts. Follow us on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube. We drop weekly videos there. And make sure you're hanging out on Instagram because we're going to be having a lot of fun stuff coming out there, trying to always deliver good value there. And if there's anything we can help you with, you know where to find us. Shoot us a DM at Creativ Rise, and we'll catch you guys soon. From us and the rest of the team and our dog who is sleeping on the floor, we will catch you guys later. Yeah, he did rip up our carpet, so that's a little bit too bad, but we'll catch you guys soon. We're going to get pizza. See you guys.
Bye, you guys.